live here from Mike Lightfoot Court. Glad you can join us for College Buckets here today. The season finale for the Bethel men's basketball team and the St. Francis Cougars, the top conference once again in the country, under the microscope here today with two ranked clubs in this one, the third-ranked Cougars and, of course, the 16th-ranked Bethel Pilots. I'm Paul Condry along with Coach Mark Gardner. Glad you can join us here for Crossroads League men's basketball. Two of the best programs in the country. Two programs, the two senior classes have exceeded the 100 victory plateau. Amazing. 4 trips for them to the NAIA National Tournament Series. I'm going to assume the Pilots are going to be going to the national tournament. Certainly they will with a win here today. But the big picture is for guys like Gage out of Bethel College and Bryce Leonard from St. Francis, two of the nation's best, going to go at it here today, Coach. It should be a dandy in the season finale on senior day.
Yeah, that's the matchup I'm looking forward to, seeing those two big men, two of the best post players in the country, certainly in our conference. And, these are two teams that last time over at St. Francis, it was a close game. They were able to hold on for the win, but the Pilots, they got a lot to play for here today.
No question about it. The Bethel College Pilots, a win here today will put them in a position where they'll finish in third in the Crossroads League, which puts them in a position where they're going to be guaranteed a opportunity to go to the NAIA National Tournament Series. We fundamentally look at it, they're in right now, but there's no question about it with a win today over St. Francis. Last time these two teams met, 2-point ball game. Bethel had a chance to win it, missed a 3-point shot that would have won the ball game. Bethel, St. Francis, we're going to see a tremendous matchup between two of the nation's best starting 5 in the country here today. You got Heinen, you've got Henry. We can go up and down the line. Chandler White has been a spectacular player for St. Francis, and of course the Bethel grouping does not have to take a backseat to anybody.
No, the Pilots have their own stars that they send out there, and I think both of these teams have a lot of role players who understand their role and do it well. And so on any given night, it could be a different player. You know what you're going to get from Linup and from Gage, but it's those other guys stepping up for both teams.
I spent some time with Chad Lacrosse, the head coach of St. Francis, and got his thoughts on today's matchup. College basketball here, the season finale between the St. Francis Cougars and the Bethel College Pilots. Glad you can join us here from Mike Lightfoot Court. Joining us now, the outstanding young head coach of the Cougars of St. Francis, Chad Lacrosse, joining us here on the pregame show. Chad, we've been through this rock and roll and topsy-turvy Crossroads League, and we're down to 1 game. And guess what? We can go out and do it again for 3 more if we're so inclined. Let's just talk about the year as a whole. It has been a crazy and wild ride, hasn't it?
It has. I can't believe it's this time of year. And just like you said, January and February seem to drag on forever, but we've kind of made our way here. And for our group, this unlike or just like Bethel. I mean, this is a huge game for us today, but for us, it's a chance to at least get a share of the conference tournament or conference championship.
One thing about it that's been pretty special is to be able to watch this group of seniors. I'm just going to pick out a couple of guys. Bryce Lenup and you look at Gage, two of the big boys inside who have played masterful in respect to their game. Bryce with 1,700 and some odd points. Gage with 15. Both are so unique in their skill set. Obviously, Bryce with over 1,000 rebounds. Gage with 600 rebounds in his career. Two kids who have been. We're going to cut away from that interview and go on down here to Ryan Lightfoot, and as we're going to have the senior day festivities here today, as they're going to be recognized here on the center court area.
Brooke is the captain of the cheer team, has been with the program for the past 2 seasons.
As they're going to be honored here at the mid-court area. Let's go on over to Brian Miller.
This year has been able to compete with the Bethel cheer team in their first ever NAIA competition. Brooke was awarded most dedicated cheerleader last year and has continued her education through this season as well. Brooke will be graduating from Bethel College with a degree in art education. Ladies and gentlemen, let's salute Brooke Perrin.
Fans, at this time, let's meet the senior class for Bethel men's basketball 2018. First, a 6'1" guard from Bourbon, Indiana, number 24, Tanner Shepard. Tanner is joined by his mother, Amy, father, Charlie, and stepmother, Marinelle. Tanner will be graduating this spring with a degree in sports management. Following graduation, Tanner plans on moving to Indianapolis and working in sales. Ladies and gentlemen, number 24, Tanner Shepard. Fans, the next pilot senior, a 6'7" forward from Wakarusa, Indiana, number 35, Will Stevie. Will is joined by his parents, Jeff and Kathy. Will will be graduating this spring with a degree in economics and finance and business administration. Following graduation, Will plans on finding a job in financial planning or analysis. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting number 35, Will Stevie. Our next senior, a 6'8" senior center from Brownsburg, Indiana, number 40, Kyle Thompson. Kyle is joined by his parents, Kevin and Pam. Kyle will be graduating this spring with a degree in accounting. Following graduation, Kyle's plans on moving to Indianapolis and working in accounting. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting pilot senior, number 40, Kyle Thompson. And our final senior, a 6'7" forward from LaPorte, Indiana, number 42, Gage Ott. Gage is joined by his mother, Julie, and grandparents, Alan and Carlene. Gage will be graduating this spring with a degree in criminal justice. Following graduation, Gage plans on moving to LaPorte and working at NIPSCO. Ladies and gentlemen, let's salute number 42, Gage Ott. Fans, a few notes about this senior class of 2018. In their 4-year career, the Pilots have garnered a record of 103 wins and just 30 losses. They are the 20th class in program history to reach 100 career wins and have the 6th most career wins of any senior class in NAIA Division II this year. Last season's 31-win season was the 11th 30-win season in program history. They have 50 Crossroads League games. They've won 50 total in the league, the 3rd most in the league since the 2014-15 campaign, and won the 2016-17 regular season title, which was the 11th championship in program history, on the back of 16 consecutive wins, which set a Crossroads League record for most consecutive wins in a single season. They were crowned the 2017 Crossroads League Tournament champions, which was the 9th tournament title in program history. These seniors have made 3 consecutive NAIA National Tournament appearances, finishing in the round of 32 in 2015, in the second round 2016, and in the quarterfinals in 2017. The program's 7th time in the round of 8 in 14 championship appearances. The Pilots have appeared in 40 of all the top 25 rankings during their senior career, one of 4 programs to accomplish that feat since 2014-15, and they've been ranked for 63 consecutive polls, the 2nd longest active streak in the nation, and also in program history. In addition to their success off the court, the Pilots were also named NAIA Scholar Team last year for their achievements in the classroom. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's with great pleasure that we introduce Mr. Paul Daggy. Mr. Daggy will present the 2018 Paul Daggy Award. This is a handcrafted gem by a longtime Pilot fan, Mr. Paul Daggy himself, and this year's Paul Daggy Award winner is Pilot Senior Gage Ott. Paul, thank you so much for sharing your gift, talent, and blessings with the Bethel program for so many years. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, let's hear it for the class of 2018, Tanner Shepard, Will Stevie, Kyle Thompson, and Gage Ott. Congratulations, gentlemen, on a job well done.
All right, well done, Brian Miller. Let's go on back to that interview with Chad Crosse and get his thoughts on that on today's matchup. Outstanding contributors to their institution and their basketball teams. I know you appreciate your opponents, and I know you appreciate your boys on your own team, but let's just talk about those two young men who have been really, really good ambassadors for the Crossroads League.
Yeah, no question. I mean, you talk about when you're talking over 1,500 points for both of them and, over 600 rebounds, I mean, that's just the level of consistency they've had night in and night out in this great league. And, both, Gage has been a monster for 4 years. And, on our end, I'm glad he's graduating, but I'm disappointed Bryce is graduating. So it's been fun to watch those two guys compete against each other for the last 4 years, and what they've been able to do is phenomenal. And like you said, they've been great not only for the game of basketball, but for both University of St. Francis and Bethel College. So
you have had your hands full all season long trying to be the conference raider for this league that has shown all kinds of varying results each and every week. How do you keep your wits about yourself trying to play things fair with everybody? Because it's difficult, because the ebb and flow of the league, you have a team that gets beat by 21 who's ranked number 3 in the country, and you have a team that's it's in last place. It's all of a sudden at one point in time was on a 3 or 4 game winning streak. It's crazy.
It is, and it's been tough. It's always tough to rate our league, but I do try to take our team out of it as far as me being the head coach of St. Francis and try to rate it fairly. And obviously taking road games, so tough to win on the road, no matter what level of basketball you're playing in. And then you here in our league, it's just extremely tough, not only to get home wins, but especially on the road. So I take all things in consideration. The coaches have been outstanding as far as helping me out. So I let them know how I'm going to rate the league, ask for any questions or comments, and I think they understand that that I do try to rate it as fairly as possible, and I want what's best for our league. We want to definitely have 4 teams represented in the national tournament, and I think anytime we don't get 4 teams in is a travesty. The level of basketball in the Crossroads League is outstanding, and no question any of our teams, especially the top 4 teams, could go out at the national tournament and get W's. So, I'd like to see 5 or 6 get in, but, I know that's not going to happen. But, man, we have 5 or 6 teams that no question can get wins. And like you said, it's just been a crazy year to where that, if you take Indiana Wesleyan, St. Francis, and Bethel, and then after that, how jumbled those teams are, it's been a tough year to rate this league.
And once again, a special thanks to head coach Chad Crosse of St. Francis for joining us here on the pregame show. I spent some time with Ryan Lightfoot and got his thoughts on today's matchup. Senior Day festivities, always a special time here on the campus of Bethel College. The 16th-ranked Pilots taking on the 3rd-ranked Cougars. Joining us here prior to today's Senior Day festivities and game, Ryan Lightfoot, the coach of the Bethel College men's basketball team. His club coming in a really unique position with an opportunity to secure a home game and really solidify their place in the NAIA national tournament here if they can come together and pick up a win. Ryan, first of all, let's just kind of revisit. One of the biggest wins, I think, in your young career was the win at Marion, especially of the bounce-back variety of what you needed. It was a tournament-type atmosphere, and the kids were really, really in a zone. Really special to see.
Yeah, I thought it just showed what our guys are capable of doing in terms of their mindset and how their approach was to the game. I mean, they came down there, and it was kind of a weird feeling. I asked the coaches and I asked some of the guys, like, are we nervous or are we focused? And it kind of had that little eerie feel, like, where are we at in this thing? But our guys just played with an edge about them, really had a mission, a mindset as they went down there and approached the game the right way. I think they knew how they're going to win. They guarded really hard. We were pretty locked in on the defensive side of the floor in terms of rebounding the basketball, finishing plays. I know we had some defensive breakdowns, but for 40 minutes, I thought it was probably our most consistent effort that we put together so far this year.
All right, Senior Day, it's always an emotional thing, especially for parents. One of those parents I've gotten to know really well, Charlie Shepard. I can't even imagine what he's going through right now. Give us an idea as you look at the Senior Day. You've seen a lot of them. You've seen in a wide variety of positions. as an assistant coach. You've been a part of it as a player. And I remember what it was like for your mom and dad out there. I would distinctly remember this, believe it or not. And I don't remember a heck of a lot, so this is a good thing for me here today. So give us an idea what you're thinking about, and just talk about those 4 young men who have made a big impact in your life.
Yeah, senior night is always special. It's one of those things where it's your last regular season game on your home court. We hope we're playing on our home court for a long time in terms of the tournament and hosting some games and doing some things like that. But for us, I look at our guys and what they brought to our program, guys like Gage Ott, just what our program is about, the toughness that he shows every single day, playing through injuries, playing through pain, and just still brings it every day. Kind of been the vocal sparks plug for our guys for a long time, just goes out there and works. And you got other guys like Tanner, Will, and Kyle that have just been, who we are in terms of our development, who we are as our perseverance, who we are as our process. We talk about that all the time. You see guys that come in, Tanner's a golfer, and Will's a high jumper, and KT, as we thought, would just be a piece for us. And next thing you know, all these guys have developed into roles for us and helped us and found really their niche and what it is to be a teammate and what it is to be a part of this program. And so all 4 of those guys have held a special place in my heart because their guys have been a part of recruiting classes and also just guys that you get to know extremely well, being as an assistant. You see where they've been, what they've been through, and the growth that's happened with them. I think it's just an exciting time for me to just say, hey, a farewell. I couldn't ask for a better first class. I think about it all the time. If there's a group of seniors that you can have in your corner for your first season, it's those 4 guys because they got your back. They know they love you. They know you're going to make mistakes, and they're going to love you through them. And so I couldn't be happier to say goodbye to this class. It is a surreal feeling, though.
All right, let's turn our attention to the match at hand here, if you will. Bryce Lindup has had a sensational career at St. Francis. Evan Henry's one of the best pure outside shooter the league has seen, probably since Zach Miller, I'm thinking. And you can throw in, even though he's not a 4-year player for St. Francis, Derek Heinen is about as an athletic and a tough guy to guard as anybody in the league. So 3 really good players that you're going to have to be forced to deal with here today. And once again, 3 seniors and they're in a situation where they have to win if they want to win the conference championship right out.
Yeah, I think, both teams are coming in here desperate for a win. I think that's an exciting time because it's going to be a high level of basketball, and that's what we're looking forward to being a part of is, we talked about this is kind of a test. If we want to be a team that can make a deep run in March, these are the teams you're going to play. You're going to play a team like St. Francis that has multiple scores, great post play, great perimeter play, that doesn't beat themselves in terms of turning the basketball over. They're a team built for a deep run in March. And I think if that's our goals as a team, this is a great measuring stick to use this as kind of a trial run to a national tournament type feel for us. So obviously Chad's done an unbelievable job with those guys. We talked about before, when they're fun to watch on film, it means they're a really good team. I enjoy watching them on film because they do so many things well. They play the right way. They share the basketball. They have multiple guys that can score. All played through Bryce inside, and he kind of is the motor for him. And then adding Heinen as a piece too, just a difficult matchup in terms of his size and his pace that he plays at. You're never going to speed him up. You're never going to take him off kilter. He's shooting the ball extremely well right now, and he's getting to the line quite a bit. So not only is he running the show, he's done so much for them in terms of just being that consistent piece at the point guard.
Once again, Ryan Lightfoot joining us here today on the pregame show. Glad you can join us for college basketball. Paul Condry along with Mark Gardner. Crossroads League. 1 game is already in the books, Coach. A big one. Indiana Wesleyan makes an exclamation point. We know that they have won the at least the share of the Crossroads League championship with their win against Spring Arbor today. St. Francis is hoping to be able to pick up another piece of the crown if they can win today here on the road.
Yeah, and it eliminated about 16 of our 40 possibilities coming into the game as far as
which
where
is
people
good.
are going to lay. Yeah, so we got a little bit better landscape of where things are going to go. So, yeah.
All right, taking a look at some of the dynamics in this one. Only 4 of Bethel's 17 Crossroads League games have been decided by 10 points or more. They're 2-2. 9 of Bethel's last 11 games have been decided by 6 points or less. Bethel has won 4 of its last 5 games by an eye-popping average of only 3.8 points per game. So you better buckle up because this one, based upon what we've seen all season long, it's going to go down to the last possession. It was down to the last possession the last time these two teams met. Certainly the best conference in the country is going to take center stage here today from the Mishawaka Gymnasium that we know as Mike Lightfoot Court. We're going to go on over to the legendary Brian Miller for today's opening announcements.
Your attention, please. Bethel College welcomes all players, officials, and spectators to today's contest. As a member of the NAIA, we are proud to be participants in the Champions of Character Initiative. We ask each of you to help create a positive, fun, and competitive environment by showing respect for one another. Fans, on behalf of the Crossroads League and Bethel College, please enjoy today's contest. Ladies and gentlemen, this time we ask you to please rise and kindly remove your caps as Bethel College Director of Tennis, Mr. John Natale, leads us in this afternoon's opening prayer.
Let's pray. Dear God, we thank you for another day and for the opportunity we have through your goodness to enjoy the game of basketball. We ask for your protection on each of these athletes as they play the game that they love. We also ask you that you give all spectators the spirit to support their team in a manner that would be encouraging to them, and may our attitudes be pleasing to you as well. We ask all these things in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Thank you. Fans, please remain standing as we honor America for those who serve and protect our great country with the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner. Today's national anthem will be performed by Bethel College senior Eva Marie Young. Once again, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Mike Lightfoot Court inside the Gates Gymnasium here on the campus of Bethel College. This is the Wiekamp Center. Thank you for attending today's men's basketball Crossroads League matchup on Senior Day as the Cougars of the University of St. Francis are the visitors and the home team, your Bethel College Pilots. Let's meet the starting lineups now, brought to you by Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. First for the visitors from St. Francis. At one guard, a 6'1 senior wearing number 5, Evan Henry. At another guard, a 6'3 junior, number 10, Chandler White. Also at a guard, a 6'2 sophomore, number 11, Connor Lotzenheiser. At forward, a 6'6 senior, number 23, Bryce Lenup. And a guard for the Cougars, 6'3 senior, number 34, Derek Heinen. Head coach of the Cougars in his 8th season is Chad Lacrosse. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here's the starting lineup now for the home team, your Bethel College Pilots. At one guard, a 6'1 redshirt junior from Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 1, Trayvon Covington. Also at guard for your Pilots, he's 6 feet a junior from Granger, Indiana, number 4, Ryan Lutz. And a guard, he's a senior, 6'1 from Bourbon, Indiana, number 24, Tanner Shepard. And the men in the middle for your Pilots. At one forward, 6'6 senior from LaPorte, Indiana, number 42, Gage Ott. And also at forward, he's 6'8 and a junior from Churubusco, Indiana. He's number 43, Paul Foreman. Bethel coaches are Alex Daniel, Andrew Wingreen, LaFonso Ellis, and the head coach of your Pilots in his first season, the 2010 Bethel graduate, is Ryan Lightfoot. Fans, introducing today's officials, today's men in stripes, Mr. Stephen Mozingo, Mr. Brian Shore, and Mr. Nate Boudreau.
There you have the details. All you need to know, and then some. Cougars, black shorts, black jerseys, blue numbers trimmed in white. Cougars written in white in italics on the front of the black jerseys. Bethel College Pilots, home white jerseys with blue along the side, blue numbers trimmed in gray. Bethel written on the front of the jerseys in block letters in blue. Lenup and Foreman to get it underway, and St. Francis has the ball, and they'll be moving from right to left on your screen. Crossroads League season finale, the 23-6 Cougars, the 21-8 Pilots. Here is Heinen with a basketball free throw line. Back out the Division I transfer, Chandler White. White to the goal, and Gage out with a nice play defensively. Missed the shot. Here is Lutz with a basketball. Ryan over the timeline now into the forecourt. Comes up high and now to the far side wing, now to Tanner Shepard. Back out to Gage at the top of the ring, back to Lutz at right wing. Nice little step out, kick back out to Foreman. Foreman on the drive, inside, scores! Pilots lead at 2-0.
Yeah, and St. Francis fortunate. Lenup got away with 2 fouls there. He shoved Gage out of the way and hit Paul on the dribble drive. So
Lotzenheiser with the basketball comes out high, now to White. Back here to Heinen on the near wing. Derek Heinen with a spin fake, back out here to Lotzenheiser. Lotzenheiser into the corner to White, back out to the top down to Heinen. Heinen backing in on Lutz. Jump pass into the corner to Henry. Henry, 3 good. Boy, he can light it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Henry, his 69th triple of the year. Cougars lead at 3-2.
You hit the nail on the head when you said he's like Zach Miller in the pregame, Paul. It seems like he's been here forever because he's been playing since he's a freshman.
Here's Trayvon Covington with a 3-point shot on the far wing. Good. Trey comes back out and answers, and that's a huge basket for Bethel's perspective.
Trey's shooting percentage goes up by about 30% when he goes to the wing as opposed to the top of the key, so that's a great look for him.
With the basketball, Heinen on the right side wing, looking for help, comes out high now to Evan Henry. Back to the left side, now Lotzenheiser looking for the look inside, nothing there. Back out to Chandler White, back into the corner. Jump shot on the way off the iron, no good on the Lotzenheiser offering. And here come the Pilots. Up court quickly, Tanner Shepard on the right wing. Looking for help, goes inside to the low post to Gage. Gage powers for 2, 7-3 Pilots.
Gage did such a good job running one step below the block and then sealing Lenup to get that easy look.
Heinen goes right side, now to Lotzenheiser. Connor Lotzenheiser back out to the top to Lenup. Lenup, 1,700 career points for number 23 in the black jersey. He has the ball on the low post, one-on-one against Foreman. Pauline and in. Here's the right-handed shot, score it. Oh, he is so smooth down low. 7-5 Pilots says. Lenup scores his first basket of the ball game at the 17:45 mark.
He's one of those guys, much like Miller was at Grace, that you love to see him play, except when they're playing your team.
Here's Paul Foreman with the ball at the free throw line. Comes down to Tanner Shepard on the wing right. Tanner knifes through traffic, leans in, missed. Oh, he got it the kind roll. Oh, Tanner living large.
That's not a typical Tanner move. Usually Tanner's shooting the three-pointer, but there, a little hesitation dribble. He was patient, split the defense, and finished to the rack. Got the fine friendly roll.
9-5 Pilots. Henry goes inside, now to Lenup. Lenup one-on-one against Foreman. He's going to back in Paul again. And Lineup shot on the way, no good. Rebound, Paul Foreman. So both players 1 for 1 respectively. Here's a pass up court quickly. Now Gage on. And it knocked out of his hands out of bounds, but they're going to say Gage touched it last.
Yeah, and that's a forced pass there. Didn't need that one. Swing the ball over here to the corner, let Gage set up on the block. No reason to throw it away. They're certainly letting him play down low. Paul's banging on Bryce. Bryce is banging on Paul, and the officials are saying, let's play ball, boys.
Absolutely. Love it. Here's Heinen with the basketball. Just call it right on both ends, Coach, right?
Yep. Be consistent.
Here's White, goes inside now here to Lineup. Lineup shot blocked from behind by Foreman. Now here's Trayvon, a 1-on-3. Trey to the goal, scores! 11-5, Trey with 5 in the early going.
The only chance St. Francis had is if those 3 defenders made a wall next to each other like the picket fence, because you knew Trayvon was going straight to the rack.
Here's Chandler White going left side now to Lotzenheiser, hands it off now to Evan Henry. Henry back out to the top to Heinen. Heinen drives, spins, leans in, and banked it up, no good. Lutz tips it out, and it's tracked down by Paul Foreman in the corner. Now here's Tanner Shepard over the timeline now. Goes to Lutz here in the corner, and he throws it away.
And that was set up perfectly. They communicated. Ryan told him, go to the middle. Ryan snuck around behind him for the little pass for the 3. And
Kyle Thompson's going to come out of the ball game now as Paul Foreman will get a break.
What a great start for Paul defensively. 3 rebounds in the first 3.5 minutes.
Lineup coming into today's game, Coach. 1,014 rebounds, 326 assists, 74 steals, 128 blocks, and 1,777 career points. What a career for Bryce Lineup, the youngster out of Columbus, Indiana, with the basketball. Lotzenheiser here on the near side wing. Goes here to Heinen one-on-one against Lutz. Heinen on the drive baseline, cut off nicely by Ott. Back out here to Lotzenheiser. Connor with the triple off the iron, good. Kyle Thompson with a good steal on the rebound.
St. Francis yet to get a rebound in the first 4 minutes.
With a basketball, Lutz goes to the far side wing, now here to Tanner Shepard. Tanner, the left-hander, comes out here to Thompson, back over to Lutz on the right wing. Goes inside to the low post to Gage, and he scores. Pilots lead at 13-5.
Great cross screen there by Trayvon to free Gage up, and it's an easy 2 for Gage. He's got 4 points early.
White goes right side now here to Lotzenheiser. Connor looking for some help. Still on the look, a wrap around here to the far wing, now here to White. Back to Heinen at the point. Heinen on the drive, pushes off, no call. Double team here in the paint. Goes back to White. Chandler, triple, right side, off the rim, no good. Trayvon Covington the rebound. Trey on the push out. Trey over the timeline now, puts on the brakes at the top. Now veers to the far side wing where he sets up shop there. Into the low post to Kyle Thompson, back to Tanner Shepard. Tanner inside to Gage. Gage, right-handed shot, good. Pilots lead at 15-5, and I think Chad Crosse has just settled into the chair here.
I think Gage has sent a message today. Easy offense down low, and the Pilots need to keep feeding him the basketball.
Lineup at the top of the ring now. Goes to White on the right side wing. White drives across the lane and leans in and left the shot short. Kyle Thompson with a nice play defensively. Here's Lutz over the timeline now into the forecourt here at the top. Gives way to Kyle Thompson. Thompson looking, looks left, now comes right now to Trayvon Covington. Trey looking for a screen, will hedge off the screen. Trey looking over here to the right side of Shepard, lobs it inside of the low post to Gage. Gage out's going to back in on White, back to Tanner. Tanner not only shovels it to Gage, and he is hammered inside by Lineup.
What a pass by Tanner, because that's going to be, we're going to get a media timeout here. Pilots with a 15-5 lead with 14:21 to play.
We'll be back with more. Once again, college basketball today being presented in part by our friends at the Gates Automotive Group. Special thanks to the Gates Automotive Group for their longtime support. When everybody has their hand out for your sweet refund check, Gates Toyota says, we don't need no stinking refund check. $5 measly gets you a Toyota Corolla for just $159 a month. Just a $5 makes you a driver. Once again, special thanks to the Gates Automotive Group for their long-time support of Bethel Buckets.
Mothers know minivans. Gates knows minivans. More vans, more colors, more models and brands. Gates, more locations in Mishawaka, more savings.
Gates knows. Now you know.
Once again, glad you can join us here on Regional Radio Sports. I'm Paul Condry along with Coach Mark Gardner. 4:21 to go as we have our first stoppage of play in the media timeout. Bethel off to a solid start, 15-5 here at the media timeout. Coach, your impressions in the early stages?
Well, Bethel can't do anything wrong, Paul. They're 7 for 7 from the floor, 100%, 1 for 1 from three-point range. St. Francis 2 of 10 from the floor. Bethel's out-rebounded St. Francis 8-0. Now, let's remind our fans that are watching, Been plenty of times when these two teams have matched up that one's had a 10-point lead and end up losing by more than 10 points going the other way. A lot of basketball to play, but right now, if you don't miss shots and you don't let the other team rebound, you're going to win a lot of basketball.
Well, we want to say hi to some people listening down in Florida. Beth and John, Monty Hopper. Well, thanks for your support. They're excited about the 80 degrees down there. And they're on their way here north, it sounds like.
Well, I'll be passing them because I'm heading to Florida next Sunday, getting out of this weather.
Gage out will shoot free throws. The big fella with a pair, giving his club a 17-5 lead after the media timeout.
Gage with 8 points in the first 5.5 minutes of play today.
Substitutions were made for head coach Chad Lacrosse as he's brought in Stephen Turner, another Division I transfer from Florida Southern. Back into the far corner, another Division I transfer, Chandler White. Back out to Henry. Henry's triple no good, and Turner the rebound. I got to say, Turner was all over the back of Gage Ott.
Yeah, gave Gage a shove, so that was the first rebound of the game for St. Francis, but it's been erased.
A quick reminder at halftime, 2 interviews at hand. We're going to be visiting with Bethel Junior, Will Abbott, the manager, and we'll have our Paul Condry's traditional Senior Day interview with the Bethel seniors. Stick around for that. Kyle Hartman into the ball game now for Bethel at the point. Goes far side wing now to Lutz. Lutz one-on-one against Henry. Will hedge off a screen. Goes up high now to Foreman. Tap pass to Kyle Thompson. KT to the goal, and he scores. 19-5 Pilots as KT scores the goal.
St. Francis has to change the way they're defending that screen roll. They're jumping it really high with their bigs, and they've left Gage, and now KT wide open on the baseline.
Lautzenheiser comes out high to White. White ball deflected by Paul Foreman, and it ricochets into the hands of Turner. Now in the ball game now also for USF. Here's a drive and a score here for Austin Compton as he just checked into the contest now.
Compton averages 5 points a game. That's a nice finish among the trees down low there.
19-7 ball game. In favor of the Pilots here is Lutz at the top of the ring now. Goes over here to Trayvon Covington. Trey looking for help. Still on the dribble. Goes up to the high post here to Paul Foreman. Hands it off. No, fakes the handoff. Paul, 17-footer, rims good. 21-7. Pilots by a pair of touchdowns and a pair of extra points in the early going.
Pilots are 9 of 9 from the floor today.
That'll win a lot of games.
Yeah, that'll win you a lot of games when you shoot that percentage.
Lautzenheiser goes to Chandler White on the far wing. Chandler drives, kick back out here now to Compton. Compton on the dribble drive. Shot no good, but a foul called on Trayvon Covington.
Bad defense by Trayvon. Just got beat off the dribble. Let a right-handed player go right.
And that will send Compton to the line. Compton is playing in his 30th game of the year. The 6', 165-pound sophomore from Frankton High School, Central Indiana. Averages 5 points, 3 rebounds. He's a 50% free throw shooter.
Yeah, knocked that one down, and he's come in and given his team some spark off the bench. He's attacked the basket twice.
In case you're just joining us, Indiana Wesleyan at home. Gone out to Whoopinstook on Spring Arbor. 77-61 the final. That game was played prior to any of the other games in the league today. 21-9 after the free throws. We'll get you an update on what's happening in the league as things develop. Here's Kyle Hartman with the ball on the right wing. Comes out high to Luke Fisher, who just checked in. Tanner Shepard on the far wing, and a foul call on Stephen Turner. That's going to be his second infraction.
You know, with that IWU win over Spring Arbor cannot finish higher than 6th place. So unless they win the conference tournament, there's no way that they're heading to the post, to the national tournament.
Hartman to inbound it, looking, comes out high here now to Paul Foreman, and Foreman will give it back to Kyle Hartman. Hartman, the fastest player in Bethel College history to 100 assists. On the floor now to direct the Bethel offense. Here's Lutz now to Paul Foreman.
There it is.
Jump pass to Fisher, and he scores. Beautiful pass by Foreman. 23-9 Pilots.
It's the same play every time. Run the screen and roll, swing it, and skip it. It's there all day if they're not going to change the way they defend it.
Here's Evan Henry coming off a screen. Triple team, comes back to White. White drives, and he traveled with a basketball. Nice job by Luke Fisher to take away any semblance of a power move left side of the block.
And it's going to be turnover number 1 on St. Francis.
And now Bethel to move from left to right with a 23-9 lead at the 12-minute mark of the first half. Luke Fisher hands it off now to Lutz. Lutz at the top goes right side now to Hartman. Hartman wrap around to the low post now to Paul Foreman. Foreman looking for some help. Backdoor pass here, back out to Tanner. Tanner Shepard triple, no good, rebound. Chandler White of St. Francis.
It's the first miss of the game.
And that comes at the 11:37 mark. Here's Tanner Shepard with his hand in the cookie jar and almost came away with the Girl Scout cookies right there.
Pilots are 10 of 11 from the floor. Paul, I don't know if I've ever called a game. That was St. Francis' first rebound of the game. Obviously, there's not been a lot of defensive rebound opportunities because the Pilots can't miss, but even on the offensive end, so 7.5 minutes in, 1 rebound for St. Francis.
Well, once again, marking that one down in the score sheet already. Here's Hunter Hollowell, a 6'5", 175-pound freshman from Huntington North High School, on the floor now for the first time this afternoon. Here is Derek Heinen with the basketball on the dribble drive. Drive, spins inside. He's cut off there. Leans in and shot no good. Ball ricochets into the hands of Ryan Lutz, the former Penn Kingsman. Up the left side of the floor. Now here's Tanner Shepard. Tanner goes inside to the low post to Gage. Gage spins, shoots, missed a shot, and then here's Paul Foreman picking up a foul inside as he stepped on Derek Heinen's chest. That'll rearrange your
Paul's not
breastbone.
He's not a small fellow landing on you. Pilots have got to know where Hollowell's at. He comes in this game with 33 triples for the 6'5" freshman, so can't leave him open.
With the basketball now quickly over the timeline now, Austin Compton hands it off to Heinen. Back to Henry at the point. Evan Henry. Back out to the top of the ring now, Hollowell. Back here to Heinen. Heinen drives down the right side of the lane, spins it back inside and scores the easy goal. 23-11 as Heinen scores here with 10:51 to go.
Derek Heinen over his career has had some great games against the Pilots.
Trayvon Covington on the far side wing. Comes around a high side screen. Now to Hartman on the right wing now. Kyle looking, goes into the corner to Trey. Into the low post to Gage. Gage turns, shoots, scores over Linnup. 25-11. Gage having a sensational senior day performance thus far.
4 for 5 from the floor, 2 of 2 from the line. He's got 10 points.
Heinen on the dribble drive. Shovels it inside to Linnup, and he scores, and he was fouled. Nice play by number 23. And most importantly for his situation, that's a foul on Gage high.
Well, and it's all created by Heinen attacking the baseline, drawing the help side defense, and then dumping it off for the N1 opportunity.
Paul Foreman comes out of the ballgame. Kyle Thompson will rotate back in. And Linnup to go to the line. Bryce on the year, a 71% free throw shooter. He averages 3 assists per ballgame to go along with those 7.5 rebounds and 17.5 points. The right-hander's free throw, no good. We'll end up with a missed free throw. And now here are the Pilots in the half-court set with a 25-13 advantage. Here's Ott back at the top, goes right side now to Kyle Hartman. Hartman around the screen, loads up the 18-footer, in and out, no good. A rebound, Derek Heinen. Heinen will push the ball up quickly. Finds the trailer here, Austin Compton. Compton on the drive, right-handed shot from the left side, no good. A rebound, Kyle Thompson. Now over here to Trey, and Trey with the travel. Nice play by Austin Compton.
Yeah, forced a bad shot, he was off balance in the shot, and he hung around there for the outlet pass and just made Trayvon take a couple steps. Heads up play.
Compton will inbound in front of the Bethel bench. He's over there right in front of the Bethel brain thus of Andrew Wingreen, Alex Daniel, and Ryan M. Now with the ball out here on the perimeter, Compton. One-on-one against Hartman. Waits for a cutter. Coming out high is Henry on the near wing. Henry guarded by Trayvon Covington. Wrap around to the low post to Linnup. Linnup one-on-one against Kyle Thompson. Linnup to the goal. Fake shoots and a foul call. And really not a bad situation the way Linnup is shooting free throws on the year. Instead of giving him a layup or a potential three-point play opportunity, make him earn it.
Yeah, it's KT's first. The Pilots have plenty of bigs between KT, Jawan, Will Stevie. You know, they can go deep over there with Luke, Paul, and Gage. So
at 9:38 to go in the first half of the Cougars will try to cut into that lead, and they do so with the free throw there, making it 25-14. One more opportunity for the former Columbus East Olympian with a slight hesitation. One dribble. Free throw on the way, no good. So Linnup missed the free throw. He's 1 of 2.
Guaranteed 2 turns into 1 on that possession.
Exactly. Hartman with the ball on the near side wing. Lates comes out high now to Kyle Thompson. Kyle hands it off now to Trayvon coming back to the right wing now to Shepard. Back to the corner to Hartman. Hartman goes back to Gage out on the right elbow. Back to Hartman on the corner. Hartman looking. Backdoor pass, and I don't know who he's throwing it to. Pilots got a break there. Shepard, 3 off the rim, no good. Rebound ripped it out of there by Compton. Here's Compton handing it off now here to Heinen. Heinen, shot rejected by Tanner Shepard. That's a terrible call.
They're going to call it on Kyle Thompson.
Okay. but
Yeah.
it certainly wasn't on Tanner.
Now, Tanner had all
That
ball.
was all ball. Our coverage today of Bethel basketball being presented in part by Cardinal Bus, the official carrier of the Bethel College Pilots. Contact Cardinal Bus for all your travel needs. Also, our coverage being brought to you by as Heinen knocks down the free throw, making it 25-15 at the 9:05 mark. Pilots have not scored since the 10:30 mark. Coverage today being presented in part by Lake City Bank, a proud sponsor of Bethel men's basketball. Lake City Bank offers business loans, deposits, treasury management, merchant service solutions for business large and small, all delivered by local bankers. Go to lakeCityBank.com/business for details. Heinen leans in on the free throw and scores again. And now it is a 25-16 ball game. And the timeout taken by Ryan Lightfoot as he wants to discuss pleasantries here. Our coverage today being presented in part by our friends at the Gates Automotive Group. Gates Automotive, Gates Chevrolet, Toyota, 1,000 used. Selection, price, trust, it must be true. Gates in Michiana for nearly 100 years. Coach, your impressions here as Ryan Lightfoot calls his first stoppage of play at the 9:05 mark.
A little concerned the Pilots have quit pounding the ball inside. They've settled for some threes, some mid-range jumpers. My thoughts are if number 42 is on the floor, nobody shoots until he touches the ball. If he wants to kick it out and give somebody else a look, that's fine. But you got to go to the big fella the way that he's dominated down low.
On the floor for St. Francis, it'll be Compton. He'll be out there with Hollowell, Heinen, Turner, and also Connor Lotzenheiser. Bethel will have Lutz, Trayvon Covington, Gage Ott, Tanner Shepard, and Luke Fisher.
And Turner's playing with 2 fouls, and he's guarding Gage, so it's a no-brainer, in my opinion. You go right to him.
With the ball out here top, Luke Fisher goes left side now to Tanner Shepard. Tanner looking for some help. Wrap around to Gage. Gage will look for a cutter, comes back out to Fisher. Luke, triple, way off the mark, no good. The rebound ripped out of there by Hunter Hollowell of St. Francis. Now here's Compton pushing the ball up. Flies through the lane, looks, back to Heinen on the far wing now. Derek Heinen with a jab step. Backing in on Lutz. Backing in, looking, leans, shoots, scores, and he was fouled. 25-18, Cougars.
Derek Heinen's one of the best guards in the conference at going down. He reminds me a lot of Tyler Brown in the low post.
Sure.
He's not a big, thick guy, but he has the ability to get himself to the basket and finish.
Cougars in the midst of a 7-0 run right now as Heinen looks like he's trying to sort out a contact lens or something to the sort, and he'll go to the line. Our coverage today being presented in part by Cardinal Bus, the official carrier of Bethel Pilots. Contact Cardinal for all your group travel needs.
Long on the free throw there, so Pilots avoid the three-point play.
Oh. Trayvon Covington with the ball on the far wing now. Goes down to Tanner Shepard, back out to Gage Ott. Gage throws it over here and saved here by Ryan Lutz.
Luke's wide open in the corner.
Lutz dribbles up high, ball reversal back to Fisher. Into the low post now to Gage. Gage is going to go on Turner, shoots and missed the shot, rebound, deflected around as the Pilots have gone cold in the last 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's the look you want, just didn't get it to drop.
Absolutely, with the ball, Lotzenheiser drives here to the near corner, guarded by Fisher, back out here to Hollowell. Back to Heinen on the far wing now. Heinen gives it way to Compton. Compton loads up the jumper, no good. Gage Ott redirects the rebound here to Tanner Shepard. Up court quickly now here to Trayvon Covington. Trey to the goal, and a foul called on Hollowell.
Gonna be Hollowell's first, team's fourth.
As we have our media timeout. 7 minutes and 32 seconds remaining here in the first 20. Our coverage of the Crossroads League. Bethel, number 16. St. Francis, number 3, continues right after this on Regional Radio Sports.
They say growth is a journey and not a destination. At Teachers Credit Union, we agree. Helping our communities grow has been our mission ever since we began our journey in 1931. And supporting our members' growth has helped us to become Indiana's largest credit union. And we're just getting started. Whatever you want to grow, Teachers Credit Union is ready to help. Visit a branch or tcunet.com today. Teachers Credit Union deposits are federally insured by the NCUA, and we are an equal housing opportunity.
Paul Condry along with Coach Mark Gardner. Glad you can join us here today. And, of course, as always, a special thanks to our friends at Teachers Credit Union for their great support of our broadcast. Coach is working diligently over there to get you some updates in the Crossroads League. Coach, what do you got?
Marion leads Goshen 25-18 with 9.5 to play in the first half. Taylor leads Grace 31-26 with 5.5 to play. Huntington leads Mount Vernon 30-16 with 7.5 to play, and Indiana Wesleyan already defeated Spring Arbor.
Last update we got from the NCCAA Indoor National Championships in men's track and field. The Bethel Pilots, after 16 events, lead the entire field with 123 points. Dallas Baptist with 89 and Cedarville with 83.
Luke was a little short on the three-pointer there.
With the ball now here into the hands of Lautzenheiser. He drives down the right side of the lane, flares out to Compton on the far wing now. Back to Lautzenheiser. Lautzenheiser goes inside the low post, now to Turner. Back out here to the top, now to Hollowell. Back to Heinen. Heinen with a little jab step. Now comes over here to the left side where he hands it off now to Lautzenheiser. 10 on the shot clock. Goes inside to Heinen. Oh, he's dangerous down there. Heinen leans inside, ball deflected into the hands of Turner. Ball deflected by Paul Furman. A great defensive possession by Bethel. Up court quickly, Trayvon Covington pulls up from 18, knocks it down. Pilots lead 27-18.
That's a great defensive possession that led to transition offense and good patience by Trayvon. We talk all the time, he's going straight to the rack. That time he tricked us, did a little step back knockdown.
With a basketball, Hollowell on the right side wing comes out here to Stephen Turner. Turner looks on the dribble right, hands it off now to Heinen. Heinen around a screen from Turner. Heinen still on the look, kick out into the corner. Lautzenheiser, three, is an air ball. Paul Foreman the rebound. Here comes Tanner Shepard flying up the left sideline. Puts on the brakes, wrap around to the low post to Fisher. Luke shot short, ball ricochets into the hands here of Austin Compton. Compton back out here to the top. And a timeout, St. Francis. 6 minutes and 10 seconds remain in the first half of play. Bethel 27, St. Francis 18. Thanks for joining us here on the Regional Radio Sports, but most importantly, thanks to our friends at the Gates Automotive Group. Hi, this is Paul Condry of the Regional Radio Sports Network. That may be my professional title, but did you know that I'm also the son of a U.S. Navy World War II veteran and a proud father of a United States Marine? Let me share with you something very close to my heart. It's called the Semper Fi Fund, and its program America's Fund, which provides immediate lifetime support for post-9/11 wounded, critically ill, and injured members of the U.S. Armed Forces, veterans, and their families to ease recovery and transition back home to their communities. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. Welcome back here on Regional Radio Sports. Paul Condry along with Coach Mark Gardner. 27-18 our score. The Bethel Pilots, who came out of the gate quickly, trailed one time, 3-2 at the 1850 mark. And once they have grabbed that lead, they have hung on to extend that lead at one point in time up to 13. Here's the ball in the hands of Heinen here for St. Francis. Back out to Chandler White. White goes right side, now to Lautzenheiser. Wrap around to Linnup in the baseline area. Reverse layup, Bryce Linnup, he scores. 27-20, Linnup doing what no one else can do inside.
He's got 7 points in the afternoon. He's just so tough to defend, going through the double team there.
Here's Trayvon Covington backing up, pulls up the 12-footer, fadeaway good. 29-20, Trey with a nice little fadeaway J right baseline.
Trayvon now with 9 points.
With the ball out here to the top. Here's Lautzenheiser handing it off now to Heinen. Heinen one-on-one against Lutz. Now to Henry on the far wing now. Trayvon Covington against St. Francis. The last game out was his best ever against the Cougars. He had 15. Here is Chandler White losing his footing, and he lost the pumpkin. Here's Tanner Shepard with a running one-hander in the lane. He scores. Pilots lead at 31-20.
Every coach in the gym saying, no, no, no. Good finish, Tanner, as he goes 1-on-3 to his weak hand, the right side, and finished with the left hand.
Here's Chandler White handing it off to Lautzenheiser, who crosses over, kick out now to White in the deep right corner. White one-on-one against Gage, drives, shoots, and missed the shot. Rebound, boy. Chandler White just had a difficult time to close that one out. Here's Trayvon on the far wing, three on the way, in and out, no good. Rebound, Linnup.
It's a good look for Trayvon.
With a basketball now, Heinen here at the 4:23 mark of the first half as Kyle Thompson set to check back in.
And Gage is ready for a breather.
And I think Ryan Lightfoot saw that. Here's Henry at the top. Reluctant to pull the dribble, goes over here to White. White's three-point shot is an air ball.
Shot clock reset, and it shouldn't have. Shot clock should be at 8 right now.
Ryan Lightfoot immediately jumping out. The official underneath saw that. And I think you're right, Coach. 8 or 9 seconds to go.
And in Jim Rome's defense, you don't expect a college basketball player, D1 transfer, to not hit anything when he throws up a three. So he anticipated.
They're going to come over here and try to sort out some of the details. I thought there was about 8 seconds on it from my vantage point. All right, so they're going to set things up here, and Kyle Thompson will check back into the ballgame. Austin Compton, I think, has been outstanding in the ballgame today for St. Francis.
Yeah, he's given his team a lift. Absolutely giving his team a lift off the bench.
And to inbound the ball underneath on the far sideline will be Evan Henry. He'll be matched out there with Trayvon Covington.
And it should be, actually, shot clock should be at 8 because they were asking when it reset. It was at 11. It went down to 27, but that's all right. 8, 11. It's better than giving them a fresh 30.
With the ball, Henry comes out high, not here to Linnup. Linnup one-on-one against Kyle Thompson. Back over here to Heinen. Heinen will lean in, banks it from the right shot and scores. 31-22, 4:02 to go as Heinen is able to score.
And he's so good at using the glass when he gets in the lane like that. He's got 8 points here.
The transfer from Huntington University, another conference rival. Here is Tanner Shepard. Got to the top to Kyle Thompson. Thompson looking for help, goes to Trayvon in the corner. Trayvon around the screen, looking, goes inside to Gage. Gage finds Tanner cutting down the lane. Tanner shoots, missed it. Thompson tips it up, and then finally here's Heinen ripping it out of there. And a whistle away from the ball. What was the call? Wait, I was screened out of the way here, Coach.
Technical foul on Tanner.
So Tanner Shepard's going to get teed up here at the 3:35 mark. And you've given Evan Henry a 90% free throw shooter an early Christmas present. Here we're here with 3:35 to go. And that book it.
And that's, obviously, I don't know what Tanner said, but it's unfortunate that obviously emotions are high and got to let him play.
31-24 with 3:35 to go. And now another opportunity for St. Francis. And Foreman will come into the ballgame and Kyle Thompson will come out. So on the floor, it's Ott, Foreman, Lutz, Tanner Shepard, and Trayvon Covington. St. Francis here at the 3:35 mark will go with Austin Compton, Derek Heinen. They'll also have Linnup on the floor. In addition to that, said Evan Henry over, no, Lautzenheiser over here in the corner, and then Henry in the deep right corner. Here's a backdoor play here, and look, Henry missed the jump shot. Second one, fouled it up and in. 31-26, 5-point lead, 3:18 to go. Bethel. His lead is one time was 13, has now been whittled to 5.
And that's 6 second chance points for St. Francis.
Here's Gage going right side, now to Paul Foreman. Foreman on the jab step, comes out high here to Tanner Shepard.
Got to feed Paul down here against Derek Heinen.
Here's the ball, Tanner Shepard. Gonna hedge off his screen. Tanner looks, goes now to Lutz at the top now. 6 on the shot clock. Lutz, step up, jump shot on the way, no good, a rebound. And Paul Foreman hits the deck of the ball, ricochets here. Gage out in the lineup, tying it up. The two best seniors in the league going at it here at center court. Nothing dirty, just old-fashioned get on the floor, dive for loose ball stuff.
Yeah, Tanner started it by diving on the floor to tip it away, and then you have two of the best talents in the conference selling out.
Absolutely. If you don't think that these guys want it, that proves it right there. Both those youngsters have the ability to be All-Americans.
Paul, remember the Pilots started 10 of 10 from the floor. They're now 14 of 24, so just 4 of their last 14. They're still out rebounding St. Francis 17-12, but all 17 of those rebounds have been on the defensive end. No offensive rebounds for the Pilots.
So Ryan Lutz will inbound the basketball here right in front of Chad Lacrosse and Luke Cummings, the brain thrust at St. Francis. And he comes out here to Gage and then back to Lutz. Lutz with a hard dribble all the way to the far sideline. Ryan's still on the dribble. Wrap around here to Paul Foreman. He is handled out there by Heinen.
That's an easy call.
And once again, that's a good foul because you don't want to give him his chance. Got plenty of fouls to give.
Yeah, they've got a couple fouls to give before they're shooting still, and that's Heinen's first. But Pilots have got to exploit that matchup and get him the ball every possession right now.
Lutz to the left of the lane from our viewpoint. Comes out high now to Gage. Gage at the top.
There it
is.
is.
Slabs inside now to Paul. Paul inside, missed the shot.
Got to go up strong. He went with the left hand, kind of reverse layup.
Now here's Heinen over the timeline now. Knifes through the defense. Goes to Henry. Back to Linup. Linup's going to go one-on-one. And the ball deflected around. And Paul Foreman knocks it over here to Lutz. And then we have a 50-50 ball.
Compton. Yeah, that's a questionable call. A bunch of hands there. You call it right. It's a 50-50 ball. They're reaching for the ball. And Brian Shore calls the official, calls the foul in Compton. That's his sixth. So both teams shooting the rest of the half.
Chandler White hops off the bench. He's coming into the ball game for Lautzenheiser.
But what'll happen now defensively is he'll go over onto Paul because they recognize right away pilots were going right down there to Paul again. Last possession, Paul got exactly what he wanted, but instead of just exploding the basket, he kind of tried to finesse it up there.
Here's Foreman with the ball at the top, handing it off now here to Tanner Shepard. Paul Foreman is gassed already out there. Here's a wraparound to the low post to Gage, one-on-one against Linup. Mano-a-mano. Here's Gage driving, shooting, scoring. 33-26, the big fella.
First time Gage has scored in a while. He's got 12 points now, but he hasn't scored in a long time.
10:30 mark.
There you go.
Pass inside of the low post. Linup one-on-one against Foreman. And a foul on, come on.
They've been banging all day. Now,
absolutely.
And now in the final minute 50, we're going to get whistle happy.
Absolutely. You've let them play for 18 minutes and the ticky-tack foul right there. And there's no question it's a foul. But you haven't called it for the first 18 minutes.
Yeah, it was a foul 18 minutes ago, and they let them bang.
With a basketball, Linup will go to the line. Bryce. Eyes, flies, one in bonus, knocks it down. 33-27, 1:51 to go. And Linup with one more opportunity. Don't forget, stay tuned to halftime. Some great interviews coming your way. Linup's free throw was good.
So Turner checks in for Linup. Turner's got 2 fouls. If the Pilots can get the ball down low, maybe get that 3rd foul. So Gage just called it out.
There's the ball over here, Trayvon Covington around a screen. Comes out high to Fisher, back to the far side. There it is, inside to Gage, and they throw it away.
Yeah, Lutz didn't let Gage get set. He's got to let Gage sit down there.
All right, congratulations to Tony Natale's Bethel men's track team. They won the NCCAA National Indoor Track and Field Championships. Congratulations to the Pilots on winning the national championship. Good for them.
It's because of all that experience and practice they get here at the track facilities at Bethel College,
Absolutely.
Right?
Heinen goes right side now to Henry. Back out to the top now to Compton. Compton flares the pass to the near side to Heinen. Heinen on the drive, cut off by Lutz. Heinen backing in. Leans over here to the right side to Chandler White. White drives, leans, left a shot woefully short, and then there's Linup with the easy goal. 33-30. Cougars within 3 with 1:14 to go.
I was going to give White credit, say it was a great pass, but he was grabbing his arm down the floor like saying he got fouled on it, so it was obviously a shot.
Covington back over here to the far side to Lutz, back out to Tanner at the point. Goes to the high post now here to Gage. Gage leans in, and a foul called there. That's a terrible call.
Well, what happened
Heinen was moving his feet backwards the entire time.
Yeah.
Gage lowered his shoulder is what I'm assuming the call is going to be.
But Gage got his feet tangled up. The help down defense tripped him, so as he was falling, his natural movement was to get his arm out in front of him.
1 minute to go in the first half. The Cougars, who at one point in time trailed in the ballgame, coach at 19-5. As the Pilots, they missed their first shot of the ballgame, in case you're just joining us. The first Bethel miss from the field was at the 11:38 mark of the first half. And give the Cougars a lot of credit for battling back through this.
Yeah, Bethel's 5 of 17 since that hot start, which is why we find ourselves in this close game.
And now as Hollowell checks back into the ballgame for USF. As USF will move from right to left with an opportunity to tie it up if they can convert on the long ball. As Compton comes over the timeline now. He settles in here at the point. Goes left side now to Henry. Evan Henry, face guarded over here by Trayvon Company. A wrap around to the low post to Linup. Linup one-on-one against Kyle Thompson. Linup driving in, shooting, and scoring. 33-32. Linup with a score here with 37 seconds to go.
And Linup's eyes light up when Foreman's not guarding him, and so he's going right at KT every time he can.
Shepard goes into the corner now to Trayvon. Back out here to Tanner Shepard, back to Fisher at the point. Fisher waits for a cutter, goes into the low post to Kyle Thompson. Thompson beckoning in on Linup. Leans, shoots with the left-handed shot, no good. Linup the rebound.
Terrible shot because he could have ran it down for 1. There was still 14 on the shot clock, 15 on the game clock. Now you give them the last possession.
With the basketball now here in the hands of Compton, goes up high now to Linup. Linup handing it off to Henry. Henry triple off the rim, no good. A rebound, Fisher. Now to Kyle Thompson. Three-quarter shot on the way, no good. 20 minutes are in the books here from Mike Lightfoot Court. The Bethel College Pilots came out of the gates hotter than a firecracker, jumped out to a 19-5 lead, and with that, the Cougars reeled them back in, and it's a one-point ball game here at the intermission. Just to point out, Coach, Pilots are 18-3 when leading at the half. When we come back after the timeout, we'll go one-on-one with the Bethel Seniors. That's coming your way right after this on Regional Radio Sports. Hi, this is Paul Condry of the Regional Radio Sports Network. That may be my professional title, but did you know that I'm also the son of a U.S. Navy World War II veteran and a proud father of a United States Marine? Let me share with you something very close to my heart. It's called the Semper Fi Fund, and its program America's Fund, which provides immediate lifetime support for post-9/11 wounded, critically ill, and injured members of the U.S. Armed Forces, veterans, and their families to ease recovery and transition back home to their communities. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. The basic idea that drives these efforts is simple. For as much as our heroes have sacrificed, they deserve the best care and support available in their hour of need, whenever it may occur. The Semper Fi Fund, a 4-star charity and an A+ rating, has served over 16,000 members since 2004. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. For more information, visit them online at www.semperfifund.org. It's senior day here at Bethel College. Glad to be joined by Will Stevie, Kyle Thompson, Tanner Shepard, and Gage Jod. The 19th senior day interview with the guys here on Regional Radio Sports. Will Stevie, first of all, let's just talk about 100-plus wins as a senior class. What a special moment for you and your teammates. What does it all mean to you?
It's crazy. I think it's just a reflection of the hard work everyone's put in. It's not like a flash thing, or it's just a reflection of how much work the guys sitting next to me and the whole team have put in, the coaches, everybody. It's not we just show up and play. It's thousands and thousands of hours that you see translate into hundreds of wins.
KT?
Yeah, I mean, Will says it well. I think it's the number of wins doesn't necessarily ever come up in the locker room up until right when we were approaching 100 wins. You never really think about that. You're just worried about one game at a time. But now, looking back on it, I think it's something that you carry with you, and it's an accomplishment that you did as a class with these guys, but just all the other guys that have been in that locker room, the coaches that have come through here, and all the support that we've had along the way just makes it that much more special.
Tanner, your thoughts?
Yeah, I just think it speaks volumes about this program, all the hard work that they've instilled in us, and that how the coaches, they put in a lot of work themselves, and it just comes down on us. And I think it speaks a lot about the past programs, too, the past players that have been through here, that they've kind of shed that light on us to win and how big it is.
Gage?
I just think it's pretty cool that we got our 100th win because, I mean, looking back, Trav's class is the first class that's done since we've been here, and I mean, then Smooth's class did it and we did it, and I just feel like it's almost something that's expected out of us, and it's kind of just a sense of relief that we got there. It feels good.
All right, I want you to take me back to the first day you walked on this campus, and as you walked over here to the Gage Gymnasium, and now you're going to be going out there on Mike Lightfoot Court here in a couple minutes. What was it like the first time you walked over here for a game, and what's it like now?
Coming in my freshman year, personally, I didn't really know what to expect. I was really nervous, and I just, over the years now, it's like I'm ready to play, and I don't have no nervousness at all.
Tanner?
You know, my story's a little different. I think I walked on a golf course first before I walked in the Wiekamp. But, yeah, you know, the first time I went to a game here, I was doing the stats, actually, and it was just incredible. The sense of, like, the rush I got from just the game and, like, wanting to be a part of it. Now that I am a part of it, I'm just very blessed.
KT?
Yeah, from the summer, first coming in here, just playing open gyms against this big guy over here, you get a little wake-up call about what college basketball was about, but then just how much the game slowed down over the course of the years for all these guys, just to see the way they've thought through things and then worked their way through physically. It's slowed down, and now you're able to direct that energy towards the rest of your teammates and just it's fun, and you don't really think as much. You just play and have fun out there, and that's what makes it pretty special.
Well, how about you?
If we're going first time, my dad's a professor here, so it was way back the first time I stepped on campus here, and it was before I even thought like playing college basketball was a possibility in my life. And so it's something I've kind of taken the step, like every single game is a blessing. I didn't think I'd get this chance, so even we played 130, 140 games. Every time you step out there, it's crazy to think that you've kind of earned this path and to appreciate the moment.
All right, question that's been on my mind for years now. White jerseys, gray jerseys, black jerseys. Somewhere along the line, I don't see black on any of these school colors. Who likes the black jerseys?
Oh, the black jerseys are my favorite. Like, I love to wear them, but Ryan thinks they're bad luck, so we don't get to wear them very much.
Tanner?
I'm a huge fan of the blue jerseys, honestly, but I do like the black. And yeah, like Gage was saying, Ryan said they're bad luck, but we finally got a big win in them. So,
KT?
I think these days everybody wants to have alternate jerseys or whatever, and I think they look good, especially when we first got them, and they're a little bit different feel too. But like Dave said, we didn't play very well in them, but Tuesday was a big one in them.
Will, what about you?
I'll probably be that odd man out. I like the white jerseys personally. I don't know if it's because we do so well at home in them or if it's just I like the style, but I'll probably prefer the white ones.
Are you going to be emotional on senior day during that walk out there on the floor, Will?
Yeah, it'll be weird. It's probably me is going to depend more on my parents, seeing how they go. I don't know if my dad or my mom are going to get choked up kind of seeing me go through this, them teaching here. So I think it'll depend a lot on them, how I kind of react.
KT?
No, not more thinking through my head of everything, not necessarily being emotional, just thinking, walking, and hopefully we can snap out of that moment quickly and focus on basketball, but kind of just reflecting as I walk out there is probably what I'll be doing.
Tanner?
I'm a pretty emotional guy, but I think I can tone it down, not cry or anything. But I'm just trying to stay in the moment, and I think once we get done at the national tournament, I think I'll be pretty emotional then.
Gage, how about you?
No, not at all, man. It's just another game for me.
I like that attitude, just another game. All right, your favorite Bethel pilot of all time, Gage Ott, and what's your favorite moment?
My favorite Bethel pilot of all time. Probably,
it's okay for you to say yourself, okay?
See, I was going to say that, but I think it had to say probably Matt Schaus. Like, my freshman and sophomore year, he probably wasn't one of my favorite guys. But, like, looking back now, he's a great leader and a great role model to kind of be the player that I am today.
All right, Tanner, how about you?
I'm going to have to be biased. I think my favorite Bethel basketball player is probably Clay Yo. He's my best friend, and it's cool to share the court with him again.
Kyle Thompson?
I'd probably have to say Zach Miller. Just the way he went about things on and off the court, just kind of showed me the ropes from the first day on. We kind of just lashed together at one of the side baskets out there and got to talking and had quite a few things in common. And then just the way he played out there was super fun to watch and sticked with me forever.
Well, Stevie?
I'm going to go with Kyle. I got to say Zach Miller. Just the way he lived his life, it just seemed like such a great example, especially me as a freshman. You're kind of trying to find where I was. It was nice seeing kind of an example of how you should do things.
What's the funniest thing about one of your favorite seniors here today, Will? Is there something special you can share about KT, Gage, or Tanner that the rest of the world may not know? That now is the time to share that.
I'm sorry, Kyle. One of my favorites all time is when we're in Florida and Kyle goes in to foul the big guy. He just takes the elbow right off the chops. And we get the replay. And it's terrible. I bet it hurt real bad, but it was pretty funny to watch.
All right, Kyle Thompson, what's your favorite moment here?
Probably our freshman year, all living on the same floor, except Will, but the three of us living on the same floor. Me and Tanner used to just fight all the time, and he'd bang on our door, and we would be going at it, and now I'm living with him. And me and Gage have been close all 4 years, and so just that thing of just used to not necessarily liking Tanner too much when he knocked on the door to where we are now is probably one of my favorite memories in seeing how that's played out.
All right, Tanner.
Yeah, well, there's a ton of memories, but one I can remember last year, I don't think Gage was a part of it, but it was me, Stevie, and Kyle. We were in a van chasing Luke Fisher around campus with some other guys during Christmas break, so that was a lot of fun.
All right, Gage, what's your favorite moment with these clowns?
Oh, man. All 4 years, man. I can't pick. I don't know. Maybe when Kyle, our freshman year, we were practicing at the Croc, and KT, he's a little mouthy back then, and he got into it with Ryan, and we all had to do a bunch of push-ups, and it was pretty funny.
Well, I'll tell you what, let me go on the record and say it's been awesome. I said this with the last 19 groups of guys. I get a chance to be a part of your lives, albeit in a little bit, maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours here. It's been awesome to watch you grow up, and it's thanks for allowing me to share the ride, so thanks a lot. We'll be back with more College Buckets right after this on Regional Radio Sports. Our coverage of college basketball today, presented by the Gates Automotive Group. Let's go over here to Coach Mark Gardner, who's got our first half stats, and we'll try to get to that interview with Will Abbott coming up next.
All right, the visitors are 11 of 29 from the floor, 1 of 9 from three-point range, 9 of 12 from the foul line. They have 15 rebounds, 4 on the offensive end, 2 assists, 4 turnovers. Individually, Chandler White has 1 rebound. Bryce Linnup, 13 points, 4 rebounds. Evan Henry, 7 points and a rebound. Derek Heinen, 8 points, 3 rebounds. Stephen Turner has 1 rebound, playing with 2 fouls. Austin Compton, 4 points, 2 rebounds. And Hunter Holloway has 2 rebounds. The home team is 15 of 28 from the floor, 1 of 6 from downtown, 2 of 2 from the foul line. 19 rebounds, only 1 on the offensive end, 7 assists, 5 turnovers. Individually, Gage Ott, 12 points. Paul Foreman, 4 points, 5 rebounds. Both of those guys playing with 2 fouls. Trayvon has 9 points, 1 rebound. Ryan Lutz, 3 rebounds, 0 for 1 from the floor. Got to get him some more shots. Tanner Shepard has 4 points and a rebound. Luke Fisher has 2 points, 2 rebounds. And KT has 2 points, 5 rebounds, also playing with 2 fouls.
All right, I spent some time with Bethel manager Will Abbott just a minute ago and shared this on one of the hardest working kids in our program. Welcome back here at halftime, here our senior day festivities here at Bethel College. Great matchup here going on between the 3rd-ranked Cougars and the 16th-ranked Pilots. Joining us here at halftime here on senior day is Will Abbott. Will, a hardworking member of the men's basketball program, is a student manager and trainer. Big part of things that goes on behind the scenes here at Bethel College. Well, first of all, let's just talk about the decision to get involved with the basketball programs. What triggered the idea is, hey, listen, I think I can contribute to your program and an opportunity to get involved in a sport that I love.
So yeah, actually it was last year around, or 2 years ago, but end of my freshman year. I've been playing JV basketball. My JV basketball coach at the time was Ryan Binkley. He came to me and said, hey, we don't really have a manager on the team this year. Would you be willing to do that? I said, sure. I hadn't really thought about it yet. And he's like, all right, yeah, let's. He started talking me through things like, oh, you'd be doing this. You'd be working closely hand in hand with, some of the greatest coaches in NAIA basketball and basketball history in general with Mike and Coach Natali. So I was like, yeah, I want to be a basketball coach after I graduate here next year. So I was like, sure, I'll take that advantage.
When you look back on the decision to do this, there's a certain amount of commitment that goes on well beyond when the game ends. Washing uniforms after the game, making sure everything's ready for the next day. So you have to be futuristic in many, many ways of your approach, just like you are as a coach, where you have to be futuristic for your next opponent. So there's a lot of lessons that are learned. In addition to that, your coaches have brought you in and allowed you to be a part of the process of being a coach. So at some point in time, you can get involved in that. I went through this exact same experience when I was in high school, so I understand all the values that you're going through. So tell us a little bit about some of the things you've learned that are the most exciting as you look at futuristic.
Some of the things I've learned so far has been some the business side decisions, like getting buses, getting food and stuff like that, making sure everybody has the right food, right uniforms, right water bottles, right towel and stuff like that, and all this other businessy side decisions we'll go out to eat on an away trip or something like that, or we'll go pick up food like pizza or something like that. I got to make sure each athlete has to share pizza with someone, so I have to make sure each person's getting one pizza and who they're sharing with, and handing out water bottles, making sure we have enough water bottles for away trips, making sure, during even the games, making sure the water bottles are filled. I got to keep, it keeps me on my toes. Somebody comes out of the game with blood, I quickly run over to the training kit, grab tape, and wrap them up, clean them up real quick, and get them back out in the game as fast as I can. So it's just, there's always just something new each game. It seems like that, something goes on that I'm just either not prepared for or I am prepared for, and I just try to think ahead as fast as I can. And just.
Once again, that was Will Abbott. We're going to have to cut that a little bit short because we're going to get back here to live play. Paul County along with Coach Mark Gardner. Once again, it's been a festive atmosphere here today with all the seniors. And Mark, of course, the men's track team winning the national championship today. Halftime scores: Huntington over Mount Vernon 42-28. Taylor's on top of Grace 45-43 at the intermission. Marion 45, Goshen 39 at the intermission. And of course, the one final that was already in the books because they played the 1 o'clock game versus the 3 o'clock game. Indiana Wesleyan spanked Spring Arbor 77-61. All right, we'll get back to live action. In case you're just joining us, Bethel College, white jerseys, white shorts, blue numbers trimmed in gray. St. Francis is wearing the black shorts, black jerseys, the blue numbers trimmed in white with Cougars written in italics on the front in white. As the Cougars coming in ranked number 3 in the country, 23-6, 13-4, tied for first in the Crossroads League. They are 14-3 on the road. The Bethel College Pilots 21-8 overall, 10-7. And the Pilots here in the 90th meeting all-time between these two clubs. Bethel leads the all-time series 49-40. We're back to live play. St. Francis will be moving from left to right on your screen, and the Pilots from right to left, respectively. Glad you can join us here courtside from Mike Lightfoot Court. Here's Derek Heinen on the drive. Shoots and scores from the right block. St. Francis has the lead back for the first time since the 1850 mark of the first half of play.
Heinen now with 10 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. That's just too easy.
Here's Gage out at the top, throwing it away. So the Pilots on the first offensive possession implode.
And you talked at halftime, hey, we're going to come out, we're going to get a stop, and this is what we're going to run. You come out, you give up a layup, and you throw it to the bench. So not a good start.
Here's Heinen with the ball, goes left side now to Evan Henry. Henry face guarded there, goes inside to Linnup. Linnup one-on-one against Foreman. Linnup leans in, shot, and a foul called inside. And who they got to call? They got to call it on Foreman.
It's going to be Paul's 3rd foul.
And at the 19-13 mark, they'll send Linnup to the line. Bryce Linnup, a 6'6", 225-pound senior. In case you joined us late, started the day with the 1,777 career points. His methodical free throw was in and out, no good. As a substitution already being made as Foreman comes out of the ball game, and Kyle Thompson's going to be asked to play a significant role here in the early stages of the second half.
And all afternoon when Kyle's been in the game, Linnup's gone right at him. So expect that next possession they come down.
Linnup scores the second of his 2 offerings, and St. Francis now has its largest lead of the ball game at 35-33. Tanner Shepard coming up high to Thompson. Back here to Trayvon Covington. Lobs it inside to Gage Ott. Ott one-on-one against Linnup. Drives across the lane. Missed the shot, no good. Linnup the rebound. Boy, good look for Gage, just didn't finish.
Good strong move by Gage. Like I said, here's Heinen.
Heinen, far side wing, looking for help. At Huntington University, he would have taken that 3-point shot. Here's a pass inside. Linnup goes over here to Chandler White, and he scores the field goal. 37-33. St. Francis with the largest lead of the night on the score sheet now and at the 18:34 mark. Pilots need to get on track early. Here's the ball in the hands of Trayvon Covington. Hands it off now to Tanner Shepard. Back over here on the near wing now Lutz. Lutz goes up high now here to Gage. Gage turns and squares on Linnup. Gage leans in. Shot rejected by Linnup. And Gage said he got fouled.
Yeah, and that's what Ryan's saying. They're going to call the foul down here. He's just looking for consistency.
And that'll be Lutz to inbound with 9 on the shot clock. 18:15 on the second half game clock. Here's the pass inside to Gage. Gage leans in, shoots, and a foul called as Linnup is going to be charged with the foul.
These officials are in for a long afternoon. The second half, nobody's going to be happy if they're going to call it like this.
18:13 to go here in the second 20. Gage Ott. We'll go to the line here. Eyes, flies, got the shooter's roll. 37-34. One more for Ott. Gage Ott. The Laporte standout. Looking it over again. Free throw in and out and in. Got the shooter's roll. Living large is Gage on 37-35 ball game. Cougars by 2 and the ball in hand.
Gage now 4 for 4 from the foul line today.
Boy, I tell you what's a busy day of college basketball. The Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference in action today. Slew of games. Here's Chandler White with the 3. Good. He finally got on track and he nails a big 3 to give his club a 5-point advantage at 40-35 with 17:50 to go. Here is Ott coming out high now to Thompson. Thompson looking for some help. Fakes the handoff, goes into the corner to Tanner Shepard. Tanner on the drive, and a hand check foul called on Heinen on the dribble drive going from left to right.
It's Derek's second foul, team's second foul.
And with the basketball, it'll be Lutz to inbound. Coming out high now here to Tanner Shepard. Back over here to the right elbow now to Thompson. Back to Tanner Shepard. Tanner 3 off the front of the iron. No good. And a whistle. And that will go out of bounds.
Pilots are now 1 of 7 from 3-point range. St. Francis 2 of 10. 17:30 to play.
Yep. With the ball over here now. Heinen goes to the far side. Outzenheiser. Outzenheiser hands it off to Chandler White. Lob inside the Linnup. Linnup on Kyle Thompson. Fade away, shot no good. Gage out the rebound. Good job by Kyle not to give it in.
Yeah, that's Kyle's best defensive possession of the afternoon right there.
Here's Ott at the top. Looks for help, hands it off to Tanner Shepard. Goes to Trayvon Covington, hawked out there by Heinen. Back out to the top. They're going to the low post to Kyle Thompson. Kyle fakes, shoots, had it rejected, but a foul called. I think it was on the body.
They're going to call, they're going to call on Chandler White, which
I thought that was the right call.
His first. But now you've got on the floor, you got Gage, Linnup, and Heinen all playing with 2 fouls, and the officials are a little whistle happy here. St. Francis only had 6 the first half. They have 3 already here in the second half. So if you can get that third foul on either Linnup or Heinen, it changes the game. Got to knock down free throws, though. KT missed that with Trey Burns making his first appearance the afternoon.
Taking a look at the season and career for Kyle Thompson. Thompson scored 120 career points. And that second free throw is no good, so KT misses 2.
Flat. And KT's 45% for the foul line on the year. We'll see why.
Yeah. Struggle, that has been adventurous for him. Henry with the ball on the far wing. Back out to Heinen. Heinen on the drive. Kick out here to Chandler White. White drives baseline. Reverse layup. Scores for Chandler White. Chandler White has scored the last 5 points for his club. 42-35. St. Francis starting to inch away from the Pilots here at the 16-28 mark.
It's a tough matchup for Gage to take away the jump shot and contain the dribble. He can't get beat baseline, but he has to have help on the backside as well.
Trey Burns in the ballgame for the first time tonight. It's a wrapper out of the low post. Gage had it stolen from behind. And now here's Lutz, the loose ball, 50-50 ball. And jump ball, and it'll be Pilot basketball.
Good hustle by Lautenheiser to sneak around there and tip that away in the post entry pass.
And it'll be a 30-second timeout for Ryan Lightfoot and company. I thought he was going to wait to the media timeout, but he feels the need to get it done now. 16-12 to go here in the second half. Cougars a 42-35 leader. Our coverage today being brought to you in part by the Gates Automotive Group. When everybody has their hand out for your sweet refund check, Gates Toyota says, we don't need no stinking refund check. $5 measly gets you a Toyota Corolla for $159 a month. Just a $5 makes Coach Mark Gardner a driver at the Gates Automotive Group and Gates Toyota. Back here live from Mike Lightfoot Court. Crossroads League men's basketball gets underway, coming your way on
Wednesday night,
21st. Home teams are going to be St. Francis, Indiana Wesleyan, Bethel. And the question remains, who will win those other ones? We'll get an update from Coach at the next opportunity. Luke Fisher checked in at the last dead ball for Bethel. Here's the ball out high. Bad pass by Lutz. Gage was wide open. Here is Lautenheimer with a drive and a shot to score. So not only did the Pilots blow a timeout, but they had a terrible offensive possession coming out of the timeout. That's twice that's happened today.
Yeah, pretty sure that's not what you drew up. Just throw it to the other team for a breakaway layup.
Here is Ott with the basketball. Looking for help. Hits Fisher at the free throw line. Fakes the pass back door. Now back over here to Trayvon Covington. Covington on the far wing. Lobs it inside, now to Gage. One-on-one against Turner. Gage leans in and scores. 44-37. Gage out trying to put his team on his back here in the second half.
Gage was 16, but somebody else has to help him out on the offensive end, and they have to get stops in the defensive end.
There's a pass inside now here to Turner. Turner backing in on Fisher. Finds the ball into the hands of Compton. And Compton scores on the spin move. 46-37. St. Francis starting to flex its muscles here in the second 20 minutes.
Yeah, Compton just made Ryan Lutz look bad on that there. Went right, spun right underneath him, finger roll.
There's Lutz at the top, goes to Trey Burns, into the corner to Trayvon Covington. Trey, triple, good. 46-40. May have been the biggest three-point basket of the year for Trayvon Covington there.
Pilots now 2 of 8 from three-point range. Trayvon with 12 points in the afternoon. Got to get a stop.
Lautzenheiser drives in. That'll be a charge taken by Trey Burns.
Lautzenheiser picks up his first. We'll get our media timeout, I believe. That's going to be team foul number 4.
14 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in regulation. St. Francis 46, Pilots 40. We'll be back with more Crossroads League men's basketball live from Mike Lightfoot Court. Come back and join us right after this brief timeout. And a message from one of our great sponsors who make it happen each and every night here on Regional Radio Sports.
Centier Bank is Indiana's largest private family-owned bank. Since 1895, the Schrag family has built a legacy of success through business and by servicing the communities of northern and central Indiana. Centier's not-for-sale promise pledges to the communities we serve that we will continue to preserve independent banking in Indiana for generations to come. Centier Bank is proud to serve the communities of northern and central Indiana. Please visit Centier.com for more information, and don't forget to like us on Facebook, member FDIC.
Paul Condry along with Coach Mark Gardner. Glad you could join us here today. Our coverage also being presented in part by our friends at ACOA. We want to thank them for their support of our broadcast here today. Do you want to be part of a company that is committed to excellence in their products and services? ACOA, a division of Bunnell Aluminum, is a producer in aluminum extrusions and anodizing with job opportunities in their expanding production facility in Elkhart and Niles, Michigan. For more information on wages and benefits, the website is www.aacoa.com, and the phone number is 269-697-1372. Paul Connery along with Coach Mark Gardner. Bethel basketball here is Trayvon Covington with a reverse layup, missed up, no good, tipped up and around, and Chandler White comes down with the pumpkin. With the basketball now here, out here on the perimeter, Heinen jump pass into the corner now to Chandler White. White now goes down to Heinen. He's going to back in on Lutz. Going to continue the back in, back out here to White on the right wing. Back here, the far side now to Compton. Compton in the corner, goes back to Heinen. 8 on the shot clock, 14-14. Second half game clock. Heinen on the drive, running one-hander, left it short. Rebound, Gage out.
It's good defense by Trey Burns. They're talking on the switch and contesting the shot there without picking up the foul.
And now Lutz with the basketball. It's been a quiet day for the former Penn standout. Lutz at the top, goes left side to Trayvon Covington. He asks for a cutter to go by and a clear out. Goes inside now here to Gage. Gage, 14-foot shot, rattles it home. 46-42. Pilots a 4-point trailer.
Assist to Trayvon, but more importantly, leadership points. Cleared out, waited for the defender to get out of the way because he wanted his man to have the one-on-one down there in the post.
Evan Henry goes left side now to Compton. Compton back out to Heinen at the point now. Compton goes over here to Henry in the corner. Evan Henry will try to split off a screen. Now goes to Chandler White on the deep right corner. Back out to Compton. Compton drives across the lane, and the ball. And what was the call, Coach? I was screened out of the way by Chad Lacrosse.
Just saying that it was a blocked shot, went out of bounds. Compton laying on the floor. Question to call there. 6 seconds on the shot clock.
Linnup comes back into the ballgame. Stephen Turner will come out, and Heinen will inbound the ball to the right of the lane.
Gonna get take a little time out here to clean up the floor.
Once again, congratulations goes out to the Bethel men's track team on winning the NCCAA National Championship. For a school that does not have a physical track and field facility or a track, for them to win the track national championship bodes well for the athletes who have made the commitment and the coaches who have coached them up. So congratulations goes out to Bethel Track on winning the NCCAA National Championship. Here's Linnup backing in, driving, shooting, scoring over Fisher like he wasn't even there. 48-42. You can't stop him.
Well, you can. You have to double team him, or you have to be big enough to take away the baseline and not just get beat off the dribble.
Trayvon Covington comes out high now here to Gage. Ott looks, flares out now to Trey. Trey, triple. God! 48-45. Trey with another big triple. He hit one at the 14:56 mark. This one comes at 13:01.
Trey 6 of 8 from the floor, 3 of 4 from downtown. He's got 15 points. Luke's going to pick up his first foul down there on lineup.
And with 12:55 to go here in the second half, Cougars a 48-45 leader. They'll have 24 on the shot clock to inbound. They go inside the lineup, and lineup matched up now with Gage Ott. Now he's going to take Gage inside. Here's a shot inside, and Lineup scores over Gage, 50-45.
You must go double team him and make somebody else beat you right now.
St. Francis by 5 here at the 12.5-minute mark.
18 for Lineup.
Trey Burns looking for some help out here on the far wing. Comes out high to Gage Ott. Ott looking for a cutter. Comes out here to Luke Fisher. Fisher with the drive. Running one-hander, missed it. Lineup the rebound. Lineup will push the ball up. Hands it off to Chandler White. White drives, shoots, just ran over Luke Fisher. And Fisher hit the deck hard.
And it's bad possession on this end for Luke. He wasn't sure if he was going to pass it to Gage or shoot it. He got caught in the air and just kind of threw it up towards the basket and then came down here, picked up a foul.
And a timeout on the floor. 12:20 to go. Ryan Lightfoot wants to talk things over. His club trailing by 5. We'll be back in 60 seconds right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network. That may be my professional title, but did you know that I'm also the son of a U.S. Navy World War II veteran and a proud father of a United States Marine? Let me share with you something very close to my heart. It's called the Semper Fi Fund, and its program America's Fund, which provides immediate lifetime support for post-9/11 wounded, critically ill, and injured members of the U.S. Armed Forces, veterans, and their families to ease recovery and transition back home to their communities. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. The basic idea that drives these efforts is simple. For as much as our heroes have sacrificed, they deserve the best care and support available in their hour of need, whenever it may occur. The Semper Fi Fund, a 4-star charity and an A+ rating, has served over 16,000 members since 2004. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. For more information, visit them online at www.semperfifund.org. Welcome back here. Mike Lightfoot court inside the Gage Gymnasium. Paul Condry, along with Coach Mark Gardner. Just a scoreboard update. Judson on top of Indiana University South Bend, 37-36. That score at the half. And we're going to go over to Mark with some other scores, Coach.
12:50 remaining. Goshen leads Marion 61-57. 9:40 remaining. Huntington leads Mount Vernon 69-60. 11:23 remaining. Grace leads Taylor 64-62.
And St. Francis leads Bethel 51-45.
Long on the second one. Burns with the rebound.
51-45 our score.
Paul back in the game now, playing with 3 fouls.
Lutz ball on the right side wing. It's been quiet today.
He's taken 1 shot today.
Trayvon Covington on the near wing now. Looking for help. And the ball deflected out. Nice job by Compton. Compton has been an absolute gem for Coach Chad Lacrosse and company.
I've been very impressed with the game that he's played. 6 points, 2 rebounds, but he's just been
active. If he'd walk into the gym, he's certainly not the, he's going to say, oh, he's just, he's the manager. So, and Compton coming out of the ball game deserves a pat on the backside from his coach and got one.
Yeah, I'm real impressed with the way he's played today.
Here's Ott handing off now to Lutz. Lutz with the triple off the rim, no good. Ricochets out long. Lineup in a sprint out. Lineup bounce pass to Henry. Rejected. That's going to be a goaltend on Gage. 53-45 on that's the first Henry field goal in ages. May have been since the early stage of the ball game.
Yeah, he's got 9 points today. He got off that quick start, knocked down the first 3.
And with the basketball now here, Trayvon coming out high to Paul Foreman. Foreman has been a lot of time on the bench because of 3 fouls. Here's Henry with a kick save and a beauty over there. Made a better kick save than any of the Blackhawk goaltending lately. It's been pathetic. And I'd like to say congratulations go out to the Russian hockey team today, whitewashing the United States, but I won't. Here's a pass inside. Gage Ott shoots and scores over Lineup. 53-47. Gage, the man among boys in there.
Yeah, Gage has 20. Bryce has 18 of his own on this end.
As advertised, Coach, the 2 best bigs in the league. Here's the ball inside Linnup, one-on-one against Gage. He kicks it back out to Lautzenheiser, who hesitates, comes back out to Holloway and back to Heinen at the point now. Heinen will run a high side screen from Linnup. He fakes the triple. Now he'll load up the triple, and I think Lutz may have picked up a hand on that. And now here come the Pilots.
That's a good defense possession. You doubled down on Linnup, made somebody else shoot the ball.
Here's Lutz, going to try to hedge off the screen, comes out to Foreman, back here to Trayvon Covington. Trey hesitates, waits for a cutter to go by. Now he's going to ask a little screen and roll action, though. Skip pass back to Tanner Shepard, back to Lutz. Inside now to Foreman. Foreman leans in, shoots and banks it in from the right block. 53-49. Paul Foreman finally getting a look inside, Coach.
Well, Derek Heinen can't guard him down there. We saw that in the first half. He missed it down there, but you've got to keep pounding it. You force Chadley Crosse to change up defensively.
Lautzenheiser had a stolen away. Now here's Lutz. Over the timeline now here to Trey. Trey does one thing well, goes to the goal, but he missed the bunny. Hunter Hollowell with the rebound.
And I wish he would have pulled that one out because it was a 1-on-3, but he had some trailers coming, and you just had that mismatch with Paul. Go back to him.
And a timeout, Chadley Crosse. He's going to take a 30-second timeout. Once again, 53-49. Do you want to be a part of a company that is committed to excellence in their products and services? ACOA, a division of Bonnell Aluminum, is a producer in aluminum extrusions and anodizing with job opportunities in their expanding production facilities in Niles, Michigan and Elkhart, Indiana. For more information about the wages and benefits, the website is www.aacoa.com, and the phone number is 269-697-1372. Grab a pen, write this number down, 269-697-1372, or go online at www.aacoa.com. 53-49 here after the Chadley Crosse timeout. As we're hitting the home stretch here in this one. As to inbound will be Evan Henry. Henry coming out high now, back to steady as she goes, sophomore Austin Compton. Compton goes into the corner now to Henry. Henry on the drive, cut off by Tanner Shepard. And then back out higher to Heinen at the point now. 13 on the shot clock, and we are now at the midway point of the second half. Here's Heinen, travels. No, kick back out here to Henry with 5. Back out here to Compton. Compton, three-point shot blocked. Compton will get away a 3 at the horn, no good rebound. Ricochets out here to Linnup. So the Pilots with a great defensive play, and now they're going to have to play defense for another 25.
Showing zone for the first time all day, and they did a great job on that zone, but I talk all the time, the hardest thing to do in a zone is box out.
Henry, three-point shot, bingo! 56-49, what a killer possession right there at the 9:30 mark.
Second chance point, St. Francis 13, the Pilots 2.
And with the basketball, Tanner Shepard on the right wing comes out high, not a Foreman inside to Gage. Gage leans in and scores. 56-51. 9:15 to go.
Yeah, you have to keep getting him the ball, but you must get a stop on this end.
With the basketball here on the far side now, Lautzenheiser comes over here to Heinen. Heinen hands it off now to Henry. Henry steps out, will load up the 18-footer and knock it down. 58-51 as back-to-back field goals by number 5 have catapulted his team to a 7-point lead.
And I'm not sure what happened defensively there, why Lutz left him. Certainly can't leave him.
There's a pass inside to Gage. Gage powers inside. Linnup with a nice play defensively. I thought Gage got hammered from my vantage point. Here's Linnup with a drive, and he is hit hard to the floor.
I absolutely thought there was a foul on this end down here. It's going to be Paul's 4th foul.
Bryce Linnup still down on the floor. Hit his head, a little bit of a whiplash down there as he was hit real hard. And that's the old adage, if you're going to come into my house, you're going to have to earn it. And Linnup will shake off the Stars, and the All-American will go to the line. First team All-Conference performer. And with 8:30, as he gets a thumbs up from Chadley Crosse.
Paul, I've said it before, this official in front of us was a bad JV official back when I coached JV ball here. Gave him the worst ratings of any officials I dealt with, and somehow, some way, he's made it up to the varsity level, and he's been bad at the varsity level all year.
The officials are gonna hand the ball now here to Linnup with 8:37 to go. Let's see what he can do now. See if that head's spinning a little bit. Kyle Thompson will check in at the next horn. Linnup with the slow, methodical free throw shot, and he missed it. One more opportunity as Kyle Thompson checks in and Paul Foreman comes out. We'll see how Linnep with the big hit here, Coach. See how he plays down the stretch now.
Turner will be checking in for him, but that's unfortunate. Paul's go to the bench. Paul's had a mismatch all day, and they
2 free throws missed.
So Pilots trail by 7, 8:30 to play. Got to pound the ball inside here.
Here's Lutz here on the near side wing. Gonna hedge off a screen. Goes out to Thompson at the top. Now Trayvon Covington wide open for a tree. In and out, no good rebound. Kyle Thompson, they deflected it off of Linnep. And it goes Bethel basketball with a fresh clock. And Chandler White will check back into the ball game. Now Linnep will come out. Stephen Turner comes into the ball game, and Lautzenheiser. I've just enjoyed watching Bryce Linnep play the game. You know, there's some guys in this league you can't wait for them to graduate because they're just, I don't know, they just drive. But Bryce Linnep is a guy that I can watch play basketball all the time, a lot like Gage. Here is Tanner Shepard with a drive and Compton with a foul.
Second foul on Austin, 5th team foul. Coach Crosse.
It's like Jordan Widener at Indiana Wesleyan, the guy that, man, he's absolutely was a pain in your neck for the entire 4 years he was playing, but man, oh man, did you enjoyed watching him
Greg
play.
Miller at Grace.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Daniel Wall at Huntington.
Yeah.
Another one of those that loved talking to him before and after the game. Hated watching him beat up on us.
Yeah. Kyle Thompson with the ball out here, right elbow. Hands it off to Tanner Shepard. Tanner comes out high, goes into the high elbow area to Gage. Gage one-on-one against Turner, goes to Tanner. The left-hander for 3. Bingo! Huge basket, 51-54. Tanner with the 3 ball.
And he had no confidence in that because he chased it down thinking he was short, and shooters know. So he was surprised to see him. Well, that's going to be a foul on Tanner. He just ran Chandler White over.
And one thing about it, the Pilots have not backed down physically.
No, but that's the one where Ryan usually yells, don't reward him for being soft. You know, he ran into him, but come on, they are college basketball players. You should be able to take a hit.
The official coming over here to discuss pleasantries. Probably trying to sort out man, can I pick up that archive of the coach's box this past Thursday from Beef O'Brady's. What a great show we had. We had Penn girls basketball on. We talked Bethel basketball. We talked high school wrestling. State wrestling championships are going on right now from Bankers Life Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. Chandler White goes into the corner to Henry. The left-hander shot, no good. Rebound. Gage out battles, and Linnep wins the war and scores. 60-54, Cougars, 7:19 to go.
Pilot showed zone again and got beat on the offensive glass. That's the 8th offensive rebound for St. Francis.
Here's Trayvon Covington, wrap around to the low post to Gage. He's going to turn and square on Linnep. Little jab fake comes out to Trey. Trey triple top, bingo! 60-57. Trey with the 3 ball with 6:59 to go.
Trey's 4th triple today. He's got 18 points.
Trey had 15 the last time these two clubs met. Here's Chandler White with a block by Gage. Tipped up and around, and that goes off of Tanner Shepard.
No, off of Compton. Yeah, off of Compton. No, that's a good call. Tanner had it, and Compton hit it out of his hand. Great block by Gage.
And now Lautzenheiser will check back into the ballgame for Linnep. Trayvon Covington, the last game against St. Francis had 15. The game before that, he had 10, and the 3 previous, 0-0-0.
But he had 13 in the first half that last trip, I remember.
That's correct. Here's Trayvon on the far side wing now. Comes out high to KT. KT looking for help, still on the dribble, gives it up now. Comes out here to Lutz. Ryan Lutz with 17 under shot clock. Lutz flares out to the right side and nearly had it stolen away. And a foul call by Bryce Linnep, 50 feet away from the goal. That's a killer if you're Chad Lacrosse's basketball team there.
Good hustle. You appreciate what he's doing, jumping out on a guard there. Got a hand on the ball, but then picked up the foul, diving after. So that's his 3rd. Still 6.5 to play. You got to pound the ball in down low, right down. See if you get that 4th foul on him. It changes the game if he has to go to the bench.
And Evan Henry and Ryan Lutz over there doing some extracurriculars, trying to clean things up.
Around the conference, Huntington leads Mount Vernon 86-75 with 4.5 to play. Grace leads Taylor 87-76 with 5.5 to play. And Marion leads Goshen 74-68 with 6 minutes to play.
Stephen Turner will check in for Linnep, and a good move here by Chandler Crosse to make the switch. Because you know the Pilots are going to go right at number 23. He fouled out of the last ball game between these two clubs. And now here's Lutz with the ball on the far side wing, guarded by Evan Henry. Comes out high to Thompson. Back here to Tanner Shepard. Tanner thinking about it. And a whistle onside on Turner. That's going to be his fourth.
It's going to be his third, but it's 1-1 now for the rest of the game for the Pilots. So far today, the Pilots are 4 of 6, but we know it's kind of been their Achilles heel all year. Gage is a perfect 4 of 4, and he'll be heading to the line. So here's that offense-defense as Linnep comes back in the game.
The Pilots had their best free throw shooting performance in their ball game on Tuesday against Marion, shooting 21 of 22. Pilots a 70% free throw shooting team. Gage Ott at the line. Watt, a 65% free throw shooter, knocks it down. It's a 60-58 ball game.
He's 100% today. That's the percentage that matters, right?
Right.
What have you done for me lately?
Gage Ott, number 10 in the country in field goal percentage at 62. He makes both free throws, and we have a 1-point ball game with 6:18 to go in regulation.
Gage with 24 points.
Ball on the far side wing, Lautzenheiser looking for some help. Comes out high now to Heinen. Derek Heinen goes to Lautzenheiser in the far corner. Lautzenheiser on the drive, wrap around to the low post, now to Linnep, one-on-one against Thompson. He's going to lean in, shovels it over here to the right side. White shot over Gage Ott. Good. 62-59. White with a huge basket with 5:52 to go on the clock.
That's a tough finish, finishing up and over Gage.
There's Lutz with the ball on the right wing. Hitting up high to Thompson. Back here to Trayvon. Trayvon triple bucket. 62. Trayvon, the microwave.
5 for 7 from downtown today. He's got 21.
Ball here on the right side wing now. Heinen looking for help. Gonna drive, free throw line stoppage, goes out to Henry. To the far wing now to Lautzenheiser. Lautzenheiser on the hard dribble. Ball reversal back to Linnep. Oh, beautiful pass and great movement off the ball for the goal for Chandler White. Great offensive possession by St. Francis.
Well, Gage went to double Linnep, and Trayvon didn't rotate down. He ran right past White. You got to stay with the nearest offensive player, so poor communication.
Here's the ball in the hands of Kyle Thompson at the top now. Thompson still on the hard dribble, hands it off to Lutz. He comes around the screen, three-point shot, no good. Ball ricochets off of White into the hands of Henry. Here's Chandler White here at the top now. Looks for help. Comes out here now to Evan Henry. Henry hands it off now to Chandler White. White goes it back out top now to Heinen. Heinen on the jab step, flares to the far wing. Still on the look, now comes back to the right wing now to Lautzenheiser. He'll drive, and that's a foul on Tanner Shepard. That is a correct call.
Yep, he banged him. That's going to be Tanner's third. It's only the team's 5th, I believe, so it'll be baseline out of bounds.
As Paul Foreman checks back in for Kyle Thompson. Kyle Thompson has given Bethel some quality minutes in the absence of Paul Foreman getting some early foul trouble.
Yeah, stat line's not impressive. 1 of 2 from the floor, 2 points, 5 rebounds, but his defense and just being out there setting screens, taking care of the ball.
And with that thought, Chad Lacrosse wants to take a timeout. Cougars 64, Pilots 62, 4:32 to go in regulation. Buckle in, folks. We're hitting the home stretch here live on Mike Lightfoot Court. We'll be back right after this message.
You know that Gates Toyota has over 100 certified pre-owned at one Southside location just over the hill from high prices at Gates Toyota. Not just the prettiest dealership in Mishawaka, also the prettiest cars.
Gates knows. Now you know.
Paul Condry along with Mark Gardner. Glad you can join us here today. Our coverage today being presented in part by Cardinal Bus, the official carrier of the Bethel College Pilots. Also, we want to thank some of our sponsors who are making it happen, including our friends at Clover Machinery Movers. Regional Radio Sports wants to thank Clover Machinery Movers, 1906 Clover Road in Mishawaka, for sponsoring a portion of today's game, serving the industry since 1948. Clover Machinery Movers is a fully equipped and insured for machinery moving, rigging, and hauling. They can move one machine or relocate an entire plant, and they also offer their customers heated storage facilities. Give them a call, 574-255-3195, or on the web at clovermachinerymovers.com. Coach.
Huntington leads Mount Vernon 89-81, 2.5 to play. Grace, 10-point lead over Taylor with 4.5 to play. Marion, 4-point lead over Goshen with 3.5 to play. So conference games. Tight as expected here. Bethel trails by 2 with 4:32. It's a big possession right here. You want to keep this as a one-possession game.
Chandler Crosse 11-8 all-time against the Bethel Pilots. 5 of his 6 teams he has taken to the NAIA National Tournament Series in deep. Here's Evan Henry with the ball deep right corner. Looking for help. Lobs it inside, and Trayvon Covington got a hand on it and nearly came away with the steal.
15 on the shot clock now as they reset baseline out of bounds.
As it'll be Derek Heinen to trigger the inbounds. Holds up number 4.
And 16 fouls on Bethel, Paul, so everybody's shooting now.
Pass out Heinen. I hear to Lineup. Backdoor here to Heinen. Gives and goes and scores. 66-62. Heinen with the field goal at the 4:19 mark.
What a nice play there. Fake the handoff. He curls around for the basket cut. Paul was fortunate not to pick up his 5th foul. And look at Lautzenheiser denying Trayvon the ball down there.
Trey in the corner goes inside to Gage, and a foul on Lineup. That'll be his 4th with 4:08 to go.
Keep pounding the ball inside if you're the Pilots. Things change with Lineup because if he fouls out, now you don't have to double the post. Everybody can play honest on the defensive end. It changes everything.
And with 4:07 to go, let's see how Chad Lacrosse manages his All-American post player. Odd at the line, free throw on the way, good. 66-63, Odd at the line. One more opportunity forthcoming.
Gage now 7 of 7 from the free throw line today. He's got 25 points.
Big number 42, eyes, flies, converts them both. 66-64, our score, as we're now at the 4-minute mark. Chandler White at the top. Goes to the right side now to Evan Henry. Henry back out high here to Lineup. Lineup one-on-one against Ott. Goes now here to Heinen. Heinen shovels it out to White. White back over here to Lautzen. Inside of the low post now to Lineup. Lineup one-on-one against Gage. Spins inside. And ball deflected around and no good.
Tanner and Gage are both right there, and he hit the bottom of the rim with the shot, so you got to get the ball inside.
There's a wraparound inside of the low post to Foreman. Foreman spins, shoots, baseline, Jay. Good! We're tied at 66 all. Big play by Paul Foreman with 3:26 to go.
Yeah, get the ball inside every possession if you're Bethel right now.
Ball here, Lautzen. Back to Henry at the top now. Here to Heinen. Number 3, number 16 going down to the last 3 minutes. Imagine that. Here's a wraparound to Lineup in a low post. Back out here to Lautzenheiser. His shot on the way, no good. A rebound, deflected around, and it goes off
of Gage.
Gage out of bounds.
But that's what the Pilots want. They're doubling off Lautzenheiser. He missed that one. He comes into this game with 36 threes, but he hasn't hit one today, and so they're doubling down off of him.
And now it'll be Heinen to inbound as he's going to be face guarded by Lutz on the inbounds pass. Passes inside now to White. White shoots and missed the shot. Rebound, Ryan Lutz.
Great defense, Paul Foreman.
Now here's Tanner Shepard with the ball on the right wing now. Comes out now high to Lutz.
You got to go to Gage here. You got to try and pick up that 4th foul and Lineup. Clear out.
Lutz over here on the left side wing. We're going to look. Oh, he's got to set up shop inside now. Tanner fakes, comes back out to Lutz. Comes around a high side screen. Now Lutz. Ball reversal back here to Tanner at the point now. Tanner had it stolen away by Lautzenheiser.
Well, Tanner shouldn't have come through to this side. Lutz needs to get him out of there and clear out for Gage because his defender was down there doubling up on Gage.
Heinen over here on the drive baseline. Runs into Gage. The ball stolen by Trayvon Covington. Trey, look out.
Attack.
Trey going coast to coast, and he was fouled by Lautzenheiser. Trey doing what Trey does well. Going full throttle, folks. It's like watching the NHRA Nationals. When you're watching one of those funny cars, you just see the red light go to green and it's boom down the line.
You don't hear him revving up, but yeah, it's the same result, man. He's going.
All right, so Coach, here we go. Trayvon Covington in the waning moments of a ball game. This is our inside stat. The Trey on the year at the line, 70% inside 3 minutes at the line. Free throw, no good on 1 and bonus. Huge miss. Well, it is what it is.
I know.
Ball on the far side wing now. Heinen, one-on-one against Lutz, comes around a screen. Now they go back here to White. White shovels it over here to Gage. Gage was just standing
Travel.
there.
They called a travel first.
You got to say, what was the call?
2 whistles. You got the travel first.
And with 2:03 to go, and Ryan Lightfoot is going to take a timeout. 2 minutes as Stephen Turner's going to come into the ball game now, and Linnep will come out. It looks like Chad Crosse will do some offense for defensive subbing now here to prevent the fourth foul for Linnep here now.
Yeah, and they missed that opportunity last time. They had Gage on the low post, but Tanner came through the corner, so his defender was sagging down there, so he couldn't get a post entry pass.
And
they're going to call timeout here in 6 seconds.
With the ball over here now, Lutz. Lutz looking for some help. With 15 seconds to go in the shot clock, 1:47 to go in the game clock. This is what we come to play for right here. 66-66 ball game. Our coverage presented in part by the place that holds the name of the gymnasium, our friends at Gates. When everybody else has their hand out for your sweet refund check, Gates Automotive says, we don't need no stinking refund check. Just $5 measly gets you driving. Buy a Toyota RAV4 or a Chevy Equinox for $199 a month, or choose a Toyota Camry and Chevy Cruze for just $189. Always over 1,000 used and 500 new. Just a $5 makes you a driver at Gates. Shop any of our 5 locations in Michiana or online at gatesautomotive.com. Selection, price, trust. Glad you can join us. Game reset time. 1:47 to go in regulation. 66-66 ball game. 9 fouls have been whistled on the guests from Fort Wayne. 6 on the home team from here in Mishawaka. Ryan Lightfoot has 2 timeouts remaining. Chad Crosse has 3 timeouts for St. Francis. The alternating possession arrow favors the team that's ranked number 3 in the country, the Cougars of St. Francis. And it'll be Bethel basketball in a half-court set to inbound. Near sideline, right next to the Bethel bench. Ryan Lutz will be out there with Trayvon Covington, Gage Ott, Tanner Shepard, and Paul Foreman. It'll be Henry, along with Compton, Heinen, Turner, and White for USF. You're all up to date, folks. Here's the ball out high now here to Paul Foreman. It goes now to Lutz. Lutz, ball reversal back to Tanner Shepard inside to the low post, now to Paul Foreman. Paul's going to back in, leans, shoots, tipped no good. Gage out the rebound, fouls it up and scores! 68-66. Ott with the field goal with 1:33 to go. Gage Ott refusing to go quietly here into the afternoon at home on senior day.
Yeah, thought Paul might have shuffled his feet. Gage came with a big rebound. That's the thing you lose when you go offense-defense. You don't have Linnep out there to rebound. In that possession, since the Pilots went to Paul, Linnep would have been fine defending on Gage, and maybe he corrals that rebound. But since you're protecting him, you put your team at risk. So now he's back in on the offensive end.
All right, let's get you up to date on the Crossroads League, the top-rated conference in America. Let's see what's going on here in our regular season finale as the postseason starts on Tuesday at different locations. First of all, Indiana Wesleyan was a winner today at home against Spring Arbor, 77-61. Indiana Wesleyan sitting at 14-4 overall. What another marvelous job by Greg Tonigal and company. I tell you what, they just methodically turn out winner after winner. And tell you what, Coach Tonigal, Coach Clark doing a fabulous job. All right, got some other scores to pass along.
Grace with an 11-point lead with 56 seconds to go over Taylor. So that's a big upset there for Grace. They're not going to be in the postseason play. We know that Grace and Goshen are the 2 teams left out heading into today, but Taylor limping in now there with that loss. That's a tough matchup for St. Francis or Indiana Wesleyan. That Taylor team's good, but they're going to be the 8th seed. The other one we have that's winding down, Huntington, a 6-point lead with 24 seconds to go at Mount Vernon. Mount Vernon has the ball. And then the Marion game was Goshen is down by 4 with 6 seconds to go. So it looks like Marion's going to win. Devin Heath Granger just picked up a technical foul. Adu picked up a intentional foul. So Marion will have a free throw fest to finish that one out.
Connor Lotzenheiser inbounds the ball now to Heinen. He'll try it over to the far wing. He's going to get a high side screen. Heinen with a drive down the right sideline. Shot no good. A rebound. Trayvon Covington comes out of nowhere. And we've got a foul inside. And with 1 minute and 16 seconds to go in regulation, Trayvon Covington will walk to the line. I have to point it out. It's my job. Trey missed a 1 in bonus the last time down at 2:15 to go. He's a 70% free throw shooter inside 3 minutes, 75% free throw shooter on the season. The Fort Wayne native free throw no good again. Struggling at the line. Boy, when you got an opportunity to put a dagger in the heart of the 3rd-ranked team in the country, you got to take it. Trey's second free throw, good again, or good, excuse me. 69-66 Bethel. 1 of 2 for Trayvon Covington. Heinen with the ball on the far side wing now. There's the step out. Heinen ball reversal to the far side to Chandler White. Skip pass over here to Lautzenheiser. Hands it to Henry. The left-hander for 3. Get it out, no good. The ball was halfway down the cylinder. Here's Lutz with the ball in the backcourt. That's who you wanted to foul.
Yeah, he's going to hang on to it. Coach Crosse saying, let's D up. No need to foul.
Here's the ball into the hands of Tanner Shepard out here now. Tanner needs to, and a timeout here with 14 seconds to go on the shot clock. 47.1 on the game clock. Bethel a 69-66 leader over the third-ranked team in all of the land. We'll be back with more of college basketball. Again, presented by our friends at the Gates Automotive Group and, of course, our good friends at the United States Marine Corps.
There's always a moment of truth where it's either put up or shut up. We were yelling our hearts out. Even in our weakness, even in our pain, we continue to push. I don't know where the pain went to, but all I know is that I had what it took. I am a United States Marine.
PFC Darrell Willis serves his country as a Marine. Will you? Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES.
Well, you can join us here today across the way. Matt Schaus, his club picked up a win last night. Former Bethel great, All-American. He's coaching at Jimtown. Eric Brand's team, the South Bend Riley Wildcats, now 20-0 on the season. They won the share of the Northern Indiana Conference Championship last night. Eric Brand and the Riley Wildcats with one of the top recruits in America, Demezy Anderson, who's going to go play in Bloomington at Indiana University. Here is Paul Foreman with the ball, handing it off now here to Ryan Lutz. Lutz flares out right side, comes back out high to Tanner Shepard. The left-hander for 3, off the rim, no good. Rebound. Oh, a big foul inside, called on the Cougars as Paul Foreman was knocked to the floor on the clear out. So the big fella going to the line with 36.7 seconds to go in regulation.
All right,
Did you
Paul,
like the shot?
I didn't see the shot because I was going through the 88 different scenarios, and the postseason is set.
Okay.
This game has no out. Indiana Wesleyan will host Taylor. St. Francis will host Spring Arbor. Bethel will host Mount Vernon. And Marion will host Huntington. The Pilots are hungry to get after Mount Vernon.
Paul Foreman knocks down the free throw to give his club a 70-66 lead. The two schools that are the farthest distance between 2 points will open up Crossroads League postseason play with the Pilots taking on Mount Vernon. Regardless of what happens here today, Paul Foreman's second free throw, good again, 71-66. Paul Foreman, who came into today's action shooting 81% in the last 3 minutes of the ball game. Here's the ball on the far side. Lautzenheiser for 3, air ball, and the ball goes out of bounds off of the Pilots inside. And with 29.2 seconds to go, Bethel leading 71-66. St. Francis will inbound the ball. And Coach, I may have to stand up on this one. Here is Heinen to inbound to the left of the lane. As Heinen lobs it inside now to Linnup. Linnup waiting for a cutter to go by. Backdoor pass to Heinen. Heinen shoots, missed the shot, ball deflected out, and it's corralled by Gage out, and then Gage is fouled by Evan Henry with 22.2 seconds to go.
This is about that time where Coach Crosse will blow a gasket and get a technical foul. We've seen this happen before.
And
great coach.
And he got the official warning here right now. And to the line, Gage Ott with 22.2 seconds to go. Gage Ott. And you look at Gage on his career mark. The last time out, he had 13 points and 6 rebounds against St. Francis. In his junior year, a 7.5 rebound performance, along with a 13-point and 10 rebound performance. He is averaging 7 points and 4 rebounds against St. Francis over the course of his career. His numbers here today dwarf that in comparison.
28 points, 5 rebounds. He's a perfect 8 of 8 from the foul line. He's 10 of 15 from the floor.
The senior knocks it down 72-66. One more for Gage Ott. So Gage will have one more game to play here on Mike Lightfoot court. The right-hander from LaPorte missed the second free throw, so he's 1 of 2. And with 20 seconds to go, here's Heinen into the corner to Lautzenheiser. He drives baseline, shoots, and scores 72-68 in a timeout with 14.6 seconds to go in regulation. We're going to remind you that ACOA is hiring. You want to be a part of a company that is committed to excellence in their products and services? ACOA, a division of Bonnell Aluminum, is a producer of aluminum extrusions and anodizing with job opportunities in their expanding production facilities in Niles and Elkhart. Check them out on the World Wide Web at www.aacoa.com or call them at 269-697-1372. That's 269-697-1372. And Coach, you got it all sorted out there now?
Yeah, Huntington hangs on to beat Mount Vernon 95-87. So Indiana Wesleyan over Spring Arbor, Grace over Taylor, Marion over Goshen, Huntington over Mount Vernon. So Wednesday night, IWU hosts Taylor, St. Francis hosts Spring Arbor, Bethel hosts Mount Vernon, Marion hosts Huntington. Let's be honest, in this conference, anything can happen. We've been there before where Bethel was the 4 seed. And the next thing you know, they're hosting home games all the way through because of upsets.
And they won the conference championship.
So, yeah, so it's a big one with Mount Vernon. Mount Vernon has played well and just beat them recently.
Pilots in search of their 319th Crossroad League win here today. In search of victory number 1,257 overall. They're 14.6 seconds away, and they have the ball to inbound to go the length of the floor. The alternating possession arrow favors the folks from Fort Wayne. Here's a ball inside here to Lutz. Lutz is fouled with 12.9 seconds to go. Now, Ryan Lutz on the season, a 89% free throw shooter inside 3 minutes, 86% at the line.
Paul, you and I talk about this all the time. I bring it up as a coach that if you have a possession arrow in a situation like that, everybody's thinking you're going to foul, you go for the ball first. That's exactly what St. Francis did. Well coached, tried to get the jump ball possession first, get that cheap steal, then they fouled.
And Lutz will go to the line, the former Penn standout. His brother, Drew, had a sensational ball game in a quadruple overtime loss against Marion last night over at Marion. Lutz free throw good, 73-68. And Lutz with one more free throw opportunity.
So I throw this out here, and it's completely against how I coached. But the way this team shoots key threes, I almost foul. Make them shoot a couple free throws and don't let them make this a one-possession game by knocking out a triple here.
74-68, Lutz pairs a free throw. Here's Heinen, long 3 on the way.
Off, Coach, barely. Rimmed in and out. Gage was able to get there and corral it, but thought he was going to get the friendly roll.
5.1 seconds to go in regulation. The Bethel College Pilots on senior night about ready to add the exclamation point for young Ryan Lightfoot. Win number 22 if they can hold on here. A big win. Ryan told me before the ball game that he respects Chad Lacrosse more than any coach he's ever worked against. He says, I enjoy just watching them play because they are forward to that, aren't
can't
you?
wait, man. They got us twice, but not.
In the first round here at home.
Yeah, we owed him.
And things like that. So for me personally, I'd definitely rather have the
You
ready to play him again.
Okay.